Submit to the High Council. We are live, and this week we're here on World Class Bullshitters. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is Ethan Van Sciver of Comic Artist Pro Secrets.
How are you guys tonight?
Fantastic. And with us, as always, according to now, is Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another episode of the High Council. What's up, everyone? Glad to be here.
Love it. I like that. The High Council. Hell yeah.
So this week's show, we have to start with a super chat because somebody could not wait to say something to us. So this comes from Kevin Brown. First off, Kevin, thank you very much. He says he's brand new to our content. Do me a favor. Tell me it's not that you have issues with women, blacks, or gays as the leads in Star Wars films, and that Disney shouts SJW unwanted banter from the rooftops is the problem. Well, Kevin, I have it on good authority that bad storytelling is the problem because you're not listening to a white guy talk to you right now, and I like Lando Calrissian and all these other characters of different races and backgrounds. Rey just happens to be poorly written. Finn seems to be a joke. That's all it is, and Disney attacks us constantly. So, welcome to the world of world-class bullshitters, geeks and gamers, and Comic Artist Pro Secrets. No one's a racist. No one's a bigot. Have fun.
I have a problem with the women. For me, it's just the women. Get them out of here. To be honest with you.
Yeah, and this is Jeremy, and my favorite Star Wars character is Ahsoka Tano. So clearly, I don't have a problem with women. I have a problem with badly written women in stories, and I don't think they should be shoehorned in just to check a social justice check mark on the box. I think they should be written, be respected, and be treated as an equal. And they're not treated as equals, and that's what I would like to see. So, and now Ethan, he hates all the women, so there's nothing.
Yeah, get him out of here. No, they're all good. They're all good.
I didn't realize Ahsoka Tano was your favorite character.
So I love Ahsoka. I love her arc in the Clone Wars. Obviously, she kind of sucks in the beginning, but she goes through such a great arc through that series. And then a lot of people haven't seen Rebels, but everything that pays off in Rebels, I love the character. And I love the fact that she was an unlikable character at first because she was supposed to be, when she first came onto the scene, she was supposed to kind of annoy Anakin, and she helped build Anakin's arc throughout the Clone Wars. And I love the fact that she earned the audience's respect, which is what any character should do. Right now, what's going on at Disney is introducing these new characters, and they're expecting us to respect them without them earning it. And that's not how it should be done. Ahsoka earned our respect through a great character arc by going through ups and downs. So, and she benefited the story and enhanced the mythology.
Well, we do have one thing that's going on today that needs to be discussed right off the top of the bat, and you guys know what that is. Poor Rose Tico.
Yeah, your girl.
Poor Rose Tico. Now, I've been getting shit. Excuse my language. I've been getting poop from people all over the internet today who are like, well, Kelly Marie Tran has left her Instagram and you did nothing to save her. I did everything I could. I've never met Kelly Tran. I wish I could have helped her. I have all of her toys. I have 1,100 of her action figures. I do have the stand-up, life-size stand-up of Rose Tico behind my table. Had I known at any time that I didn't know she was on Instagram. I would have.
I did.
Did you?
I sent her the Rose Tico video where I kicked down the Tower of Toys.
Oh my god!
I would credit Ethan for doing more for the Rose Tico mythology than Rian Johnson. That's for sure.
Well, that idiot. All he did was kind of make a despicable character. I took that despicable character and I made her into a beloved mascot for my channel, and I think in some way for you guys as well. We did fail Tico. Somebody just said we failed Rose Tico in the chat. We kind of did. I do want to see what we can do to make things better for her because we are big fans. There are some let me use this word. There's some vile bigots out there who are being mean to Kelly Marie Tran and don't understand that Kelly Marie Tran is a cutie pie who is not responsible for the horrific script that she had to act. She didn't write that. And Rian Johnson she didn't do that. She was just forced into a potato sack and forced into that role with a stupid wig. She did fine. We love her. I'm excited about episode 9 because as I understand it, she will be in that movie heavily. Are you guys excited about Rose Tico in episode 9?
I dream about it every night.
I'm not. I'm not even gonna stay in character. I'm not excited about it at all.
Are you serious? What if Rose Tico is force sensitive?
I'm walking out. I'm just fucking leaving. I mean, the movie's going to be trash as it is. The rumors that Rey is pregnant with a baby from the Force.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Honestly, at this point, if they just go full Batman and Robin and just own the campiness, that might be the best route to go. That might be it. So that might be the only thing they can do to save it at this point. Not take it seriously and just go full Batman and Robin. Do Ice to See You. Do all of the Ethan jokes. Let Ethan write part of the script for Rose. That might be the only.
Well, I'll do that. I'll come in and write the Rose sequence. I think that'd be pretty good. By the way, if Rey is pregnant with the Force, doesn't that prove once and for all that the Force is male? And if so, you guys have to understand one thing. I have a new T-shirt that I'm going to be premiering tomorrow. It's a parody of Kathleen Kennedy shirt. It just says the Force is male across it. That's it.
Nice. And and by the way, so many people are asking me, my Star Wars The Last Straw with the broken logo will be releasing very soon.
You are doing it?
Yeah, Ethan, I need to talk to you after the show about that with Crypto Fashion. I need to get some info from you on that.
You got it.
But yeah, so everyone be patient. It will happen this week.
I hope you don't get in trouble with Chuck Wendig for making a fucking T-shirt.
Man, that guy is off his rocker.
All right, let's move on to Chuck Wendig. Let's take this section. We got Chuck. So we got Rose Tico. I feel like we've got her put away. We love Rose Tico. Sorry that she felt like she needed. Well, by the way, one more thing about that. She never said at any point that I saw that she felt harassed, and that's the reason why she left Instagram. I have an Instagram. I never visit it, so it's not because. Well, actually, it is. It's because of harassment. I do not go on my Instagram because I am harassed.
I'm gonna harass you on it now. I'm gonna find you.
Oh my god, please don't. I can't take it.
Yeah. Upon further review, it doesn't seem like she said anything. It seems like the mainstream is just running with this to get on their soapbox and preach about how everybody's racist and sexist.
But doesn't that do a disservice to anyone that's not any minorities? Because it's like all these woke white people got to protect them. It's like. She's fine by herself. No one did anything to her. Like, stop making it something that it's not.
Right. Well, I said this on my live stream earlier. Like, Chris Pratt has been attacked multiple times for saying thoughts and prayers to Kevin Smith, thoughts and prayers to a 4-year-old boy with brain cancer, and the internet just destroys him. And we don't see anybody, waving the flag for Chris Pratt and hashtag I stand with Chris Pratt, because it doesn't fit the narrative. Everybody gets shit on the internet. It's kind of part of it. I don't know about you guys. Actually, I do. I know you guys very well, and pretty much everybody in this chat. You're my friend if I make fun of you. Like, if I don't make fun of you, you're not normal. So if I talk shit to you, you're probably really normal. So that kind of brings you into the inner circle. So everybody should just let their guard down and have some fun. It's not that serious.
Real quick, before we cut into Chuck Wendig, we got 2 super chats. First from Kyler Coates. Thank you. My condolences to Uncle Ethan. Any insult to the wonderful Tico is an insult to him.
Thank you. Thank you for your sympathy.
And then we had one more. Oh, 2 more, actually. From Brian. Fight the deep soy state. Hashtag deep soy is coming for us all.
FNN.
American Trent 421 says, hey, guys. Ethan, how moist does Rose Tico get you?
Oh, my God.
Now, we will not speak like that in the High Council. That is unacceptable dialogue for the High Council. No using of the word moist. No fudge. If any of you say fudge, we're going to skip over your super chats. No fudge super chats. Just a warning. Just a warning.
Zatachi's cane sword says the Force penetrates everything.
Hell, it does.
It does, I think. Oh, and one more from BDog8504. Hey, could you send KMT a Tico shirt / get her on?
I would like to do that. No, I wouldn't. I don't want to bother her. This is the thing. I don't, I'd be starstruck.
Does your wife know about Rose Tico?
She does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, she walked in with me and my cardboard cutout. And that took a little explaining. That was awkward.
I bet.
Oh my god.
No, if we could get her on, that would be a huge blow against their narrative because it's like no one. At least for me and my channel, I don't really shit on her. I just say Rose Tico's a lame character. Ryan Johnson did it intentionally. I don't know how they could spin it like, oh, world-class bullshitters hates Asian women. We don't.
All right. Guys, do you feel in any way like today has been like a perfect storm of a-holes coming out, like Star Wars a-holes coming out and trying to destroy opposition? There's Chuck Wendig. There is, my God, well, definitely Ryan Johnson. Freddie Prinze Jr. came out again today with more bullshit.
Oh, fuck him.
Dude, he's worse than ever. He is worse than ever. These guys just simply will not stop, and they're all coming after us like we did anything wrong.
Bring it on, dude.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm just like, all we're trying to do is make Star Wars better. You guys are our enemies. Ryan Johnson sitting. Oh, I hit. All right, I'm sorry. I'll step back because we can't hit this all at once. We got to examine these things one at a time. What is your guys' experience with Chuck Wendig at this point?
Never heard of him until today.
Really?
Till today?
Has he ever worked for Marvel?
Maybe.
Then if he's worked for Marvel, I've heard the name, but I have never read his work, and because of how he acts on social media, I'm probably not going to ever support it.
I was blocked by Chuck several months ago, never interacted with him on Twitter. I did make a video that got a lot of traction. Around that time, he blocked me. And since then, I've just seen screenshots of all of the nonsense that he continues to yap about. So...
I actually just found out about him because, my fans actually send me stuff all the time. My subscribers, they send me emails and say, help. And they, that's kind of what happened here. They sent me a whole tirade by Chuck Dixon that was so illiterate and so weird. And I don't normally do that, but and I was like, who is this guy? They're like, well, he wrote a bunch of novels. Like he wrote, what were the novels that he wrote, guys, in the chat? Can you help me? The Aftermath, Star Wars Aftermath, whatever that is. I didn't read those.
Nope.
But he's just absolutely going off. He's calling fans bigots. I'm trying to find.
He's called us white supremacists, all this stuff. I mean, he's off his rocker completely.
It's nice, though. He hasn't blocked us, and those things would just roll off the back of our channel because...
Well, and the thing is the rant he went on when I made a video of him several months ago, he was trying to say that the people that were against The Last Jedi were such a small number that they would never matter. And the thing that has started this latest outrage by him is the fact that he's now frustrated because that minority that he claimed it was is so much bigger because Solo failed. So now he's attacking them for being everything that he said that we weren't.
Well, he is on the way out, and let me I'll read some of this to you. Can I read you a little bit of what he put on Twitter, and then you guys can react. I don't think that Jeff has read any of this, or et cetera, et cetera. All right, so Chuck, after I attacked Chuck, and I didn't attack him, I very graciously responded to his shit, and let me show you what the shit is that he wrote. Listen to this. Here's what happened for context. Some numbnuts tagged me into something about boycotting my numbnuts. This guy's an adult, dude. He's an adult with a big beard, and he has soy mouth. He has a soylent grin. Okay, so he said, current idea, quote unquote, current idea is that Solo is tanking. I guess by having the fourth biggest opening in 2018 so far. That's sarcasm. Asshole. It is only May, the fourth biggest opening in the month of May, and your Star Wars, that's not something to brag about at all. That's not good. Think about that. Not. Okay, because of super fans, and he does the capitalization thing. Super fans who so hated The Last Jedi so bad that their magic hate powers caused a sorcerous boycott of Solo. And that's astonishingly goofy on so many levels. First, that fans are happy that Star Wars is faring poorly. It's like rooting for your own child to fail. It's like hoping your own puppy falls down some steps. It's so weird. What do you think of that so far?
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Pathetic. But here, I've got before you continue, I've got a great quote from a great movie that works into this perfectly. This is from The Dark Knight. And it's Alfred, where he says, you squeezed them, you hammered them to the point of desperation. And in their desperation, they turn to a man that they don't fully understand. They're desperate right now. They are so desperate. They are just throwing shit against the wall to see what'll stick. So continue.
Well, all of them are going to lose their jobs. See, this is the thing. Star Wars is eternal. It will always be there. These people who are shepherding Star Wars right now are on the way out. And I have something about that too. Rumor on Reddit is Kathleen is picking her successor and will announce in September. We're going to get to that in a moment. That is dynamite news. Get ready, everyone. Second, the people that hated The Last Jedi enough to affect Solo's numbers, but somehow not enough to affect The Last Jedi's numbers. They are like with The Last Jedi, what? People kept tonguing that broken tooth, feeding money into the movie machine to hope it would get better, and then bought the Blu-ray. Then they were sure that The Last Jedi failed because it didn't do The Force Awakens numbers, even though The Last Jedi was still like one of the biggest movies ever. They all talk like girls. Not that this really matters, but somehow they're sure this means it failed. Blah, blah, Ruin Johnson, and some other clever Star Wars gate troll talk. Almost done, guys. And now they're happy Solo is underperforming, and they're claiming it as a success in this weird ideological culture war they're waging. Solo, right? That pissed me off. I exploded at that. Solo arguably is. There's an argument to be made that Solo isn't doing that well. According to Chuck Wendig, there's an argument. You could, from a certain perspective, Solo didn't do that well at the box office, and claim that their little fan campaigns had anything to do with that is so bizarre and narcissistic. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Stop calling me a narcissist. I looked in the mirror all day yesterday for any sign of narcissism, and I couldn't find any. What I could find is my beautiful eyes, though. You might as well claim it's because you did a fucking magic I hate Star Wars tap dance in your man cave. This is how weird. It is picture this coming out of a soy mouth. It is never because of hater fans. A movie also never succeeds because of its fans, because most moviegoers, the ones who form the bulk of the movie-going public, the ones who buy most of the tickets, don't give a great honking shit about most of this stuff. All right, so that is his first tirade. And I responded to it graciously on my channel. Calling him an idiot, and then he, not in so many words though. I'm polite. I'm a gentleman. I wouldn't just say, Chuck, you're an idiot. I would just say you're an idiot in a kind of more gentle way. And then he started tweeting, "Help! I fell down a weird rabbit hole of some shitty Star Wars fans. Oh my God, these people! What a weird thing to be a fan of a thing you so obviously despise." Chuck, people just despise what you're doing. They just despise your work. And that's basically it. And you can go on and you can call everyone a white supremacist. But I didn't read your book. My fans did. And when they heard your name, they flipped out. They said he says things like, in his book, he writes like this: TIE fighters fly across the sky, blammo, kablam, pew pew.
That's written in a book?
Yeah. He writes like that.
Is he slow?
In a way. So people don't like his writing, and I don't think he's going to be writing any more books. And I think he's part of the Kathleen Kennedy thing that is going to come to an end. And this is, it's like you have to, in a way, you have to. Oh, by the way, everyone's an incel. I learned about the word incel. I like that word now. You know what incel is?
I don't even know what that is.
That guy that ran that truck into all those people in Canada or something was an incel. Was it Canada? I don't know where it was, but that was the thing in the media.
Well, incel means involuntarily celibate. So in other words, you have trouble with ladies. You have trouble with the ladies. You don't want to have trouble with the ladies, but you do. So everyone who doesn't like Chuck's book is involuntarily celibate. Meanwhile, he's that guy, man. He gets a lot of chicks.
With that beard, I tell you, and that hatchet. Whew.
So anyway, he called Star Wars fans white supremacists, this is all coming from the comic book industry. I'm coming from the comic book industry myself. I'm leaving the comic book industry as such because of these weirdos, and we got to get them out of Star Wars because they've devastated comics. We just can't let them do Star Wars. We just can't let them do this stuff.
Star Wars is literally dying right now before our eyes, and nobody wants, not nobody, obviously there's a lot of us that are trying to bring awareness to this problem, but there's so many people that are just putting their heads in the sand right now. I told someone earlier, he said, just because of one movie flopping, you think it's dying? No, dumbass. All right, so The Force Awakens was a huge success. The Last Jedi had a great opening weekend. It was nearly equal to The Force Awakens. After that, biggest drop, second weekend drop for any Star Wars movie, which was like 68%, even worse than Solo. So the massive drop happened right there. The word of mouth was terrible for The Last Jedi. People were like, no, this shit sucks, whatever. It didn't, it fell $700 million short of The Force Awakens, which we didn't ever think it would match The Force Awakens, but $700 million is a lot. Yeah. Jeff here on this channel has covered the financials of The Last Jedi, showing how it didn't make that much of a profit as it seemed. You've done a great job of covering the toy sales that are just completely atrocious at this point. And now we're going into Solo. And yeah, it wasn't just the boycotting. It wasn't just the Star Wars fans. This is bigger. The general public is out too. Nobody is interested in Star Wars right now. So it's not just us, but we made our voices heard, and now we're finding out that even the general public doesn't care. This is a huge problem. And
well, if I can... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was going to say we need to get it turned around. That's all I was saying.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I know this is anecdotal, but I consider the people in my family like your basic moviegoer. They know that a Star Wars movie is out. From the moment I spoke to them in 2015 about The Force Awakens, they had complaints. Like, my cousin, who doesn't even really like Star Wars, she's like, Darth Vader's so much cooler than this Kylo Ren guy. She called him what'd she call him? A weak-ass bitch or something like that at Christmas. It was funny. So, and then all these people this Christmas, I said, so you guys going to see Star Wars? They're like, no, the last one sucked. The damage to the Last Jedi had the benefit of The Force Awakens opening huge and Rogue One opening huge. Chuck, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but it took a little time to happen. I guarantee you his book sales are going to take a big nosedive after people find out what a mean guy is. I mean, this stuff doesn't just happen overnight.
No, not at all. And the problem is the mainstream, and a lot of these people are starting to realize how much influence YouTubers have. I don't know how many of you watch PewDiePie, but PewDiePie was pointing out the other day how a lot of the mainstream outlets are trying to discredit a lot of YouTube channels for having influence by stating that they have influence, but then trying to misdirect it and turn it into how they don't have influence. But they're admitting that YouTube channels have influence, and they can't do anything about it.
Nope.
They can't control us.
Any of the rules.
Right. They can't control us. They can't tell us what to do. They can't monitor us, and it drives them crazy. It drives them crazy to not have any control. And I'm not saying that we like this, just my channel or your channel or Ethan's, but collectively with us, and then there are so many other channels that have a following, we are getting the word out there slowly but surely. And it's beautiful.
Well, this isn't meant to be a bragging way, but my Kathleen Kennedy video is almost at 900,000 views. If somebody like Chuck Wendig, I almost called him Chuck Dixon like you did, Ethan. If somebody like Chuck
did
Wendig
I call him Chuck Dixon?
Somebody said you called him that earlier. Isn't Chuck Dixon comics, right?
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Wait, they're saying like if Chuck Dixon or God damn, we're doing it now. If Chuck Wendig wants to say we have no influence and no audience, I beg to differ. It's not about me saying, oh, we're so big. It's that people give a shit. Because you had to click on that video and you had to be curious about the situation to find out more. It's like in Starship Troopers. Do you want to know more? Well, almost 1 million people want to know more. And this is like you said, this is Star Wars, the biggest thing ever. We wouldn't be here and people wouldn't be here if they didn't want to save it. Those people out in Hollywood and the SJW culture, they've ruined comic books. They turned me off to it. And like I've told you before, Ethan, I wanted to be an artist like you and do all this shit. I was really into it. And then this movement happened. I'm like, I want to get away from these people. They're toxic. And, they're pushing people like me out. And they're not going to do it with Star Wars and entertainment because I'm not going to allow it. Neither are you and neither is Jeremy. I mean, it's time to, pretty much call these people on their shit.
Yeah,
that's right. And I highlighted the fact that I think it's probably the most popular Star Wars podcast, which is Rebel Force Radio. I've listened to those guys for a long time. I like those guys. I know that they like The Last Jedi, which again, there's nothing wrong with liking it. I like a lot of bad movies myself. There's nothing wrong with it. But they have been calling out Chuck Wendig big time. I mean, they went after him the other day, and Jimmy Mack, one of the hosts, actually tweeted that he has contacted Lucasfilm and he's demanding answers for why they are allowing their employees to attack fans on social media.
I saw that.
And I was like, hell yeah, man. I mean, more people are starting to catch on. And it's not a matter of people. We know that there's a huge part of the audience that feels this way, but a lot of people don't feel comfortable speaking out. And Jimmy Mack even said it, like, somebody questioned him and said, are you sure this is a good move? This may hurt your relationship with Lucasfilm. He goes, I'm doing this because I love Star Wars. Fuck yeah, that's right.
Now, speaking of love real quick, we got to show a little love to our fans because they've been sending these super chats like crazy. And like I did on the live stream with Mueller and the other guys, I didn't want to kill the flow because, Ethan, we're coming out strong. This is the best episode of the High Council so far. So first off,
it's going to get better.
It is going to get better. There's a ton to talk about tonight. From Rhino4563, all hail you wonderful human sunbeams. Thank you, Rhino. This comes from DJ Nieves IV. Rose Tico was played by Meg Griffin. They keep on rolling in. Thank you. Oh, crap. Nathan Malia. Sorry, the screen has a little glare on it. Thoughts on the comments/rumors from Rian Johnson about his trilogy being set in a different galaxy within the Star Wars universe? Why even call it Star Wars? What a douche.
No, it's actually accurate. It is going to be set in a different galaxy. It's called Looper 2 because he's not going to do that fucking trilogy. So,
Ethan, I hate to break a rule you set up, but this comes from Brandon Hillman. Ethan Van Skybird, may the moist be with you.
Oh dear.
Another one. Sorry. Get ready for this one from Rhino4563. The council is fudgy moist.
Oh, it's disgusting. How dare you?
Rax the hero and my personal hero, EVS. Would you let Rose Tico peg you?
Oh my God! Just filth. Constant filth in this chat tonight. What is going on with these degenerates? Come on,
you got
guys.
my fans here. That's what's going
on. Do better.
Billy Ritchie, you guys need to get this honored wolf on here. If he'll come on, or it's a he, right?
Yeah.
They're more than welcome. Alex Gee, did you see how cucked the Lego Movie 2 trailer is? I haven't caught it.
I still haven't seen it. During my live stream, a few of my viewers asked me about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Sorry, Ethan. Right? No, you haven't seen it.
No.
I've been busy working on the next video and doing backlogs.
Too much Star Wars news just keeps dropping. I have no time for anything. I did make a video game video for my channel earlier. Nobody fucking watched it, but I made it.
I got interviewed by some website today, so I had to take. That was my thing today, so I'm a little behind. The High Reclusarch Grimaldus. When it comes to anti-Disney Star Wars, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, causing the fears. Like LL Cool J. Deshandre Morant says, anyone wonder why we make robots look like humans on the outside? Anyone wonder why we make robots look like human outside of wanting to fuck them? Just like it seems you want robots to question their existence?
Yeah, I don't understand why people make robots at all. I don't get it. Why are people trying to make artificial humans? It's more fun and pretty easy to make a real one, kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Bottle of wine.
Why don't you make a robot dinosaur? That would make more sense to me.
Ooh,
robot dinosaur.
That just sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Owensby, Uncle Ethan, do you plan to have Andrea roleplay as Tico? You already have the wig. Also, Dacky, when? I think the market is ready. Tico Paths forever.
Tico Paths. All right. Word up.
This comes from one of my favorite screen names, Wayne the Sex Machine. We're a minority. Reparations, y'all. Astro Panda, sounds like the Baizu are upset today. Stand firm against them. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Zatachi's Cane Sword. His latest book is titled I'm an Out-of-Touch Sensitive A-Hole. referred to Chuck Wendig. Lorhe67 says, Chuck kicked my dog, punted my infant across the lawn. He's now mentally disabled and set my home on fire. I live in a car now, so we have some beef.
Oh, my God.
The page mistress says, the SJWs, to SJWs, a boycott only works if they're the ones doing it.
Yeah. But it does work, though. They just don't want to face that it worked.
Very true. Party Elm Civi says, Chuck the Cuck Wendig? Oof. Just oof. Star Wars fans are white supremacists? Nothing can stop the Empire. Blast the Jedi. Civil War now.
Hey, now we'll touch on the SJW boycott thing, though. The problem is when SJWs boycott something, they're boycotting something that they never had interest in prior to getting involved with just to play the outrage card. When Star Wars fans are boycotting Star Wars, it's something we have had a vested interest in. We're the people that drive the revenue. So SJWs never have an impact on anything that they try to do. So that's what I believe. So
I'm with you, dude. Brandon Moist, he's back. Rian Johnson doesn't even drink moist soy, only dry soy. World class. Glad to moist make my way onto this live stream. Great time the other night.
Stop moistening this chat right now.
Ethan,
Stop moistening it.
You couldn't handle the last episode of the podcast because honestly, the last 30 minutes were just moist movie puns.
Oh my God.
I had a headache because I laughed so hard. That dude is our in contention for our Fan of the Year award. Like already, he's our #1 pick. So to all my listeners out there, if you want to top Brandon Moist, you got to start. And work hard. Thomas Gilkey, hey guys, hey Jeremy. Thoughts on the Joker Leto solo movie? Also, Jeremy needs to watch James Bond flicks. Wait, you don't watch James Bond flicks, Jeremy?
I've watched a few. It's just not my thing. What James Bond's going to be cool. He's going to fuck women, and that's going to be awesome. I can watch porn. But
porn doesn't have a flying car.
I mean, I've watched some fucked up porn. I can argue. But anyway, now what the hell did he ask me about? Prior to Bond and porn.
Thoughts on the Leto Joker solo movie? Ew.
Yeah. I talked about that in my live stream earlier. I liked Leto's Joker more than a lot of people. I didn't think he was great, but I think this is a Kathleen Kennedy decision, is what this seems like. Like, hey, Solo was a flop. Hold my beer. That's kind of what this is like. Nobody's gonna go see this shit. It's such a bad decision. So
I guess Warner Brothers doesn't like money.
No, they don't. They don't. Or maybe they just think that they're supposed to top Disney, and so they had a bad flop. Let us see if we can do worse than Justice League. They did worse than Justice League. Let us see if we can do worse than Solo.
Let's see. Anthony Mata says, "Love my Cecil, but love my Tico." McKinney 90, my apologies for asking but do you guys think there might be a semblance of the whole situation being a PR stunt? Rose is a horrible character, but really disgusting. Sorry for asking. Don't ever apologize for asking a question, McKinney 90.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that it's that, and not necessarily on Kelly Marie Tran's end. I think I've said this before. I think she's a really sweet person from all of her interviews, but I think that the mainstream and the shills saw an opportunity to go, hey, we can create a narrative out of this, because that's what they do. They sit around just thinking about things we can be victims of, things we can create narratives out of, and they're looking at it going, Star Wars fans are jumping off the ship. We have to make them look bad. Here's a golden opportunity for us to run with this story. So that's very possible.
I do agree.
Oh, Jesus. Now that we read the super chats, about 15 more popped in. I love you guys. No complaints. Hold on. Let me go back. I have a new method. I take pictures of the screen and then go back and read them at a later date, so I don't forget anybody's, because I had to do that the other day. From Zebulon Pike, they are pushing more people out than they are bringing in. Same thing happened at comics. I'll sit out until something worthwhile comes along.
That's us.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it.
Daniel Payne, the Force is forever. End of story. No other labels admitted. To be fair, the Force did kind of die between 1985 and 1992 or 3. So,
it went away.
What's funny? During the era where there was no Star Wars, or really Disney had a big grasp on the entertainment industry, we had some of the best movies of all time. Not saying Star Wars made other movies bad, but I am saying Disney made the entertainment industry shit. Herpicus McDurpington, Council versus Kennedy, Dawn of Moisture.
You've created this monster, Ethan. It's all your fault.
What did I do?
The moist.
Oh, I didn't do that. Brandon Moist did it.
Ethan, what you need to do is you need to have Cyberfrog fight the Moist and have it be like this amorphous character. Like, there's no shape to the Moist. It just permeates everything.
It's the moistness. Yeah.
The Healthy Man, your channel helped me a lot through hard times. Glad I found you 2 years ago. Keep up the juicy leaking, Uncle Ethan.
I will.
Yeah, somebody just mentioned it in the chat, but shout out to everybody who's supporting Ethan's Indiegogo project. Amazing support. That's what's great about our followers is they support us. Like, they really stand by us. They support us and give us the confidence to keep doing the shit we're doing.
So that's why we're able to go.
You guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for that. That's huge. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you guys don't mind. Do you care if I do that or no?
Go for it.
Go for it. You'd help us out. We'll help you out, of course.
That's beautiful.
Michael Presenti, hopefully we can get an SJW march against the Fandom Menace. I want to be responsible for them getting some exercise, and that sea of colorful hair will be trippy. Rainier Engel says, if you travel through time and have sex with yourself, is it masturbation or gay?
Wow.
I mean, wouldn't you cease to exist because two of the same things can't exist in the same space? Within the same space, so it would be like in Back to the Future. The space-time continuum would be ripped apart.
But it would be sex with someone you love, and plus you know what you like. You know what I mean?
Unless you're one of them self-loathing people.
Yeah.
And then finally, we're caught up, I believe. Zatachi's cane sword. Leto was in my so-called life and some faggoty artsy movies. He doesn't exist to me. Pretty sure I'm caught. Oh wait, Michael Ivan. Frogs do love moisture. Black Angus review says Kelly Marie Chan's gender makes me moist. Brandon Moist says Cyberfrog would defeat the moistness. I'll admit it. Sad Squirrel says, Uncle Ethan, are you going into Tico's fudge?
Oh, wow.
What the hell?
Billy Ritchie, where does a post KK Lucasfilm go from here? We will answer that in a moment. Really good chef. I keep hearing glug noises. I'm not drinking anything. Are you guys?
I'm not drinking.
I actually am. So if that's me, I apologize.
Brian, Instagram drama is hashtag deep soy psyop. Chuck Wendig is hashtag deep soy. And Redbeard wants to know if Disney will double down or change, and I think I hit everybody. Thank you to all the super chats. Thank you to all the people. You talked about supporting people. Real quick, as a weird aside, we're all going to be able to go to Star Wars Celebration because of you people, and we got our tickets today, and it's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. So if they kick us out, there's going to be garbage.
You got your ticket today? Can I still get my ticket?
Oh, of course. Only the Jedi Master tickets sold out, but I'm not spending $850 on tickets.
Yeah, I mean, we still need to try for press. I don't think. I mean, Lucasfilm does not do this. They have a third party company that works on that, so it's not like they're gonna know. But we definitely need to try to get press. I don't think that it's a toss up if they'll give it to us. I mean, based on our following, we absolutely should. But obviously, they're not very happy with us. But we need to get press because I went to Star Wars Celebration last year and I didn't have press. And you can get literally no internet service. There's no Wi-Fi. It's a nightmare to do anything. So we're still going to go if we have to pay our way because I've already bought my ticket, but we still need to try.
I bought tickets for everybody on the show, so all the world-class bullshitters are going to be there. Would I love to have a panel? Of course I would. Are they going to let us? No.
Right.
But, you know, we can dream. But here's the thing. He talked about our fans. If literally everyone that listens to our videos sent one email that said, hey, we want the High Council to have whatever, and they sent a link to our stuff, that'd be 170,000 emails. Mm-hmm. They couldn't deny that. It would crash their server. They would see us, and they would know. So maybe we talk to the fans the closer we get to keep this train rolling. But
yeah, let's not.
There.
Nobody act on that yet, but we will work on that. You know, because we would love to do like a flood of just emails, and it can't be dickheaded emails. You got to be like, "Yo, we really want these guys." Don't say like "fuck you, motherfuckers."
You know what, guys? I'll even do you better. When it comes time to send them out, I'll write the email. You all send the same email. There you go.
Boom.
Beautiful. Well, no, I don't think somebody mentioned Kathleen Kennedy being there.
She ain't gonna be there.
She ain't gonna be there, and I'll tell you why. I'm on this rumor site here. This is a Hollywood Insider site, and it says, "Wow, Kathleen Kennedy worked wonders relaunching." Let me just preface this by saying, did anybody notice how John Campea did a complete about face about Kathleen Kennedy this past week?
Oh yeah, I called him out on it. Fuck him.
Here are 5 reasons why Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. All right, let me tell you something. John Campea was tipped off. This is already out there. People know it. People who are in the position to know already know it. John Campea knows this, and he's trying to get right with Jesus now so that he can be on the right side of this. Now, here's the rumor, and this is true. I predicted this before he even said anything. I said, Kathleen Kennedy's out. And the way these companies work, they don't just announce it. You're never going to have, like, her head rolling down the alleyway. She's going to disappear. She's going to quietly disappear. They're going to give her dignity. They're going to allow her grace. Nobody is going to say she was fired. She's not going to be humiliated. But you're going to know. That of course she was fired. She is responsible for screwing over 5 directors in a row. She's responsible for the first Star Wars bomb of all time, losing Lucasfilm money, and dividing the fan base. She needs to go. She has been terminated already, and here's what it says here. While Kathleen Kennedy worked wonders relaunching this property from the abyss of the Lucas prequel trilogy, how fucking dare you? And turning it into a bigger than ever, all-devouring cultural force.
Oh, God.
There has to... I know, it's so fucking...
Cringe, man. Literally no fucking body went and saw The Force Awakens because Kathleen Kennedy was the president. Nobody.
Infuriating. There has to be more than some thought that it's time for new blood at the helm. There's talk out there of September being a changing of the guards. There's also plenty of reason to believe that Kennedy herself is tiring of this. The fights, the bad press can't be very fun after a very gilded career. The job requires constant commuting between LA and London, which also gets old. Oh, poor baby. An Ankler friend pointed out that she has elected not to stand again for the AMPAS Board of Governors, even though she had not been termed out, suggesting that someone who has been omnipresent at Poobah conclaves for 40 years may now finally be looking to scale back. She was fired. And now, really, having made the big step of relaunching Star Wars, how much more is there to look for from there? She's out. She's out. If they make a change at the wheel here and replace Kennedy, whether by mutual choice or what have you, there's going to be a hell of a lot of mishagas for a company in the middle of a tumultuous transition. Now, they believe probably John Lasseter is going to step in for her.
Ooh.
She is
Great
picking,
pick.
but she is going to get to choose, visibly choose her successor. That is how they're going to allow her to leave with dignity. But good news, guys. Cray KK is out. She's out. You'll know that for sure in September. I believe this, and it's going to be fun.
Shout out to Ethan for actually, at least you're the first person I heard to float that idea. After Campea dropped his video, you were like, yeah, he knows. He's already heard. He's just trying to get ahead of it now.
That's what I said, because that guy has lost all credibility with fans. Even before we made our shill video about the guy, he's an asshole who antagonizes people and can't defend his stances without going, oh, you're a bunch of hillbillies who bang your cousins. No, dude, we're not. We're just people that are pissed off about bad movies and being attacked. No one wants to be attacked. He cries about it on Facebook. Oh, I'm sad. I've lost it. Oh, shut up, John. Nobody cares. But when it happens to him, and when we come back, we're the bad guys. So he's whatever.
Well, I want you to follow this through now. Now that you have that piece of information, I want you to understand and assume that this is 100% true. Kathleen Kennedy has been fired. Everybody knows it. Okay, everybody on the inside knows it. Now I want you to understand why people are acting as loop-de-loo as they are on Twitter. People like, again, Chuck Wendig, and then more importantly, the big one, the big round circular skulled buffoon himself, Rian Johnson, who, by the way, will not be directing a trilogy now. That is going to be over for him. It is over, all because of this. And that is the big victory. That right there is the big victory. All I wanted, Kathleen Kennedy is one thing. I wanted Rian Johnson out. Rian Johnson is a miserable, disgusting failure of a Star Wars director and a terrible SJW human being, piece of human garbage. And he does need to leave. I know that sounds like a lot. Oh, by the way, other good news: Chris Miller is alive. Lord and Miller have both resurfaced, making fun of Solo. They were not murdered. I am very, very excited about that. And let's see here. I'm trying to find. Yeah. I actually wrote to Rian Johnson today. I
retweeted you.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody in a response to Rian Johnson just spurging out. Hold on a second. Let's see what Rian Johnson is saying. On social media, a few unhealthy people can cast a big shadow on the wall. But over the past 4 years, I've met lots of real fellow Star Wars fans. We like and dislike stuff, but we do it with humor, love, respect. We're the vast majority. We're having fun and doing just fine. And this idiot goes, Star Wars is so much better off without those trolls. You did us all a service. And I just said, fact, the last movie lost more than $50 million. Perhaps Star Wars needs its fans more than it needs this circular-skulled fool who denigrates them. He flipped the hell out on social media after that. Absolutely flipped out, calling us names, losing his mind. The reason for that is he knows that he's not going to get to make his trilogy. He's out of here with Kathleen Kennedy. All of the dominoes are going to fall down. And guess what? We did it. We did it. Not just the three of us, although let me tell you something. We played a big part in this. I really believe that we have. We've spread the word, and people spread the word from us. And there are others that are just like us that are doing this all over the world. But this fan base did this. And you're going to watch these people. Here's why they're flipping out. They're flipping out because they know they're going to have to eat crow in just 4 months. In just 4 months, they're going to all be humiliated. And they're angry about it right now. And so while they still have the illusion of power, they are going to take it out on every one of us. They're going to try to bring us down with them.
This is desperation at its finest.
They're not going to tear us down, though, because we are beholden to one group of people, our audience. We're not shitting on our audience. So I don't know what they're going to do to us. We don't live these, terrible lives that are going to betray the people that listen to us. It's just not going to happen. They can't do anything to us, especially you, Ethan. You have a huge following outside of just being on your own channel in the High Council.
No, guys, this is my following. This is my fan base. These are who's important to me. I have 57,282 subscribers at this moment. 292. Those are the people I care about. I will never betray them. I will yell at them for keeping saying fudge and moist in my chat all the time. But other than that, I love my fans and I protect them. I would never betray them. They're all I care about. And as long as we're cool, me and them, you're exactly right. As long as our subscribers, as long as the people in the chat right now are cool with the High Council, we ain't going nowhere. And we're going to watch this all fall down.
No, it's I rebranded us the other day. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I rebranded our little network is the Common Sense channels. Like that's really what it is. It's common sense. That's all it takes. And it's lacking. It's lacking so much in 2018. So many people don't have common sense. And when people try to talk bad about us and try to slander us, I always say, like, all right, all you're going to do is say if this person that talks about us has 10,000 followers. Well, then of those 10,000, 25% of those people aren't going to give a shit. 25% or 50% of them are going to look into it. And out of the whole 100%, 25% are going to go, you know what? We have common sense and we like what this person's saying. So we're going to gain more followers just by you talking shit about us. So go ahead and do it.
Well, John Campea refuses to say our name. Did you hear him come out today in his live stream?
Yeah, somebody actually asked him during his Kathleen Kennedy video. Somebody said, did Geeks and Gamers finally get to you, John? And he said, point blank, I screenshot it. He says, I don't know who Geeks and Gamers is. Okay.
I guarantee he knows who the fuck who I am, though.
After your shield channel, after your shield video, yeah, he knows.
Well, I even got into a little bit of a tiff with Midnight's Edge a couple months back, and because they were really like blowing the Force Awakens, not the Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, and I made some kind of comment like, "Oh, what a surprise!" Even though I used to listen to the shit out of you guys, like we're talking about channels like you all the time. I'm like, whatever. Like, just go fucking talk about Josh Trank some more. But we're here praising the fans. We got to give our fans their due because people are going nuts in these super chats. So, Mark Baggio says it's not gay, it's your time clone. Okay,
I'm down with that.
Brad Talif-Boucher says nobody can touch me like I can touch me.
It's true.
Bagel Goose says, does Uncle E have his smart water?
I do, but I'm not going to drink it because you guys will make fun of me with the glug glug. I'm not doing it.
American Trent 421, a great movie flop. Stop or my mom will moist. Ugh.
Oh my God! See what I mean?
Mega Lone Wolf 20. Y'all need to keep doing these streams. Well, Mega Lone Wolf, every week you'll find in the High Council. We like each other, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. Hell, if we can make it happen, we'll do a live one together in Chicago.
Yeah, boy.
Redbeard says, if they do press, they won't hit the... if they do press, won't they hit a job as a white male? Won't they hit job as a white male? I don't get that one. If they press... McKinney 90. Watch KK or Ryan Johnson pull in Anita Sarkeesian at VidCon and call you out as garbage human beings, and we'll try to have you guys escorted out of the room.
I hope that happens. Oh my God, please, God, let that happen.
I'll play the race card the entire time, and then I'll make them look like assholes. Because I'll put it like this. The stuff I say about them, I have no regrets. I don't really call her anything outside of unqualified or from her job and stuff like that, so I'm not too worried. Anthony Mata says, crowdfund for press passes? I think press passes are free, but they have to
you have to
service.
Yeah, you have to be approved.
Deshandre Morant. Haven't had to do this in a while, but second circle of Star Wars hell lust, new resident Ethan Van Sciver and his obsession with Rose Tico. You're a sinner, Ethan.
Come on.
Klaus and LT. You a-holes made me waste $10 by not reading my message. First off, I apologize. And now another whole $10 to let you know you made me waste the original $10. The a-holes. Glad Disney, not theirs. Sorry if I missed it. You got it there.
You could have spent $1.99 to let him know about the $10. To be fair.
Rhino 4563. Can I just say F. Campea, Freddie Douche Jr., and Chuck Dingle and Roundhead?
Yep, all of them. Terrible people.
Hey, can I just say real quick, okay? Because it's an honor for me to be part of a live stream that doesn't crash at 1,000 likes. So can we get up to 1,000 likes on here just in honor of the live stream not crashing, since it's not on my channel, since the man's holding me back. So because I saw somebody said we have 557 likes. So let's
if you're a lady in the chat, smash that like button. I want to see just the ladies right now. How many women do we have in here? Can we smash that like?
You know, all joking aside, I've seen my female viewer count go up like drastically. Like I've been getting contacted by women. There's this lady called the Page Mistress. She tells us about how she watches Star Wars with her family and stuff like that. And then there's people on my Facebook page, and it's just blowing up. I'm like, well, I guess people do realize that these anti-Star Wars people aren't what the media says. So thank you to all the people out there who think for themselves.
They're normal people. We have the normal people here. We don't have the weirdo blue-haired land whales. We have normal people with families who are just concerned about whether or not they're going to take their kid to a Star Wars movie and see Lando Calrissian, Dong Lover, fucking his robot. That's our audience. They're the people that are concerned about that.
Hey, you guys have seen on Geeks and Gamers, we have ladies over there. We have Anna, we have Jessie Milestone. You know, it's killing the narrative, and they don't know what to do when the narrative starts getting destroyed. So they start getting crazy and desperate, like Chuck Wendig. So,
well, speaking of, actually, this guy's not crazy or desperate. Darth Conicus, what are the chances for Filoni getting a bigger part in story development for the big screen projects?
Say that one more time.
What are the chances? What are the chances for Filoni getting a bigger part in story development for the big screen projects?
For story development, I absolutely think that's possible. I don't think they're ever going to let, at least not in the beginning, they're not going to let Filoni walk right in and direct a live-action full-length feature film because he's never done that. But I do think that Filoni will definitely be involved with the creative process within the next year. We're going to see him transition into that role. They have to. He's literally the best story guy they have at Lucasfilm. They have to make this happen. But I don't think he's going to direct, but definitely from a creative standpoint.
Well, real quick before I get back into the super chats that have popped up, we mentioned John Lasseter as a rumor, and people are talking about the hashtag #MeToo movement with John Lasseter. I mean, I care if people have been assaulted. I'm not knocking that, but like he has proven himself with Pixar is the guy that can tell a really great story that appeals to people of all ages, young and old. He is a great choice. Who else? I mean, Dave Filoni. I know people are throwing his name out there, and on a video I'm putting out, hell, this guy that's a big Wall Street analyst mentions him as a successor. Can you guys think of any other filmmakers or creative people that really could direct or do something like this on this level?
Well, I mean, you're talking about taking over Lucasfilm?
Yeah, because I know the corporate side is important.
I think Lasseter is a great name to throw out there, and I'm not going to get involved in any of the other stuff. I'm just going to talk about his career, and he's been a massive success. So Lasseter, I think, is a great choice because he's ran a studio before, a major successful studio. And I still think Filoni, I understand the hesitation to bring Filoni in to actually run Lucasfilm. I understand that because that's a big job. But Filoni definitely needs to be at the top of the creative process of Lucasfilm. So if Lasseter could run it and then have Filoni kind of be his chief, that would be great. Outside of that, I mean, the only names I would throw out there would be names that aren't possible, like Christopher Nolan. But Christopher Nolan would never take that job. You know, somebody like that. So outside of that, I can't really think of any names.
Zatachi's cane sword. She's gone. Cue Ewok victory song. Now, Zatachi's cane sword, do you mean Yubnub or, in my opinion, the superior song, the one from the special edition? Because that song's great. Grat says, John Lasseter got me too for being a groper, though. Well, we just answered that one, but that's kind of where I read it from. So thank you, Gats. Redbeard, 9 fails. Who will they blame if Kathleen Kennedy leaves?
Who will they blame? Every white person involved. So every white male involved. No, I mean they're going to change. They're going to create that narrative that racist, sexist Star Wars fans created such an uprising that they ran her off. But she did such an amazing job because you guys all know The Force Awakens did 2.1 billion, and literally all of us went and saw it because Kathleen Kennedy was involved. Right?
That's how I went.
Right. I remember. I was just hanging out with people and their families, and they were debating on going to see The Force Awakens. But then the dad was like, "You know what, honey? We need to drop $150. Take the kids. Let's all go all out because Kathleen fucking Kennedy is the goddamn producer. We need to do this." No, literally nobody went and saw the movie because of her. She lucked in. She was handed the greatest IP in the history of the movie business. We had such a long layover. We had the prequel fan base. We had the original trilogy fan base. And then we had this new era of fans. They all came together. The Force Awakens was a huge success. And she took advantage of that. And within 5 years, she has destroyed it. That is an epic failure on every single level. Epic. So, and I don't like using epic, but I'm doing it now.
Well, she's the only reason that Back to the Future is my favorite movie.
Yeah, and she's the only reason Jurassic Park was great.
Yeah, forget Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis, Bob Gale, Dean Cundey, anyone creative. No, Kathleen Kennedy has single-handedly created the Hollywood blockbuster, and now she's single-handedly destroying it, and that's not an exaggeration. Holy crap, they just keep rolling in. I'm taking screenshots of these. We'll get back to them in a second. Ethan, where are we going next with this?
Well, you could keep doing that. I mean, I was going to let you read all the super chats.
Okay. We only got a few more. Let's see. Bro Cody says Lucasfilm and the mainstream media are just in denial and cannot accept fans, so they make up lies. Numbers don't lie. That's very true.
It's true.
I mean, we have a first Star Wars flop.
We do, and that's where I want to go next. I want to talk about the devastating losses for Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now, that was the other big news this week. We actually have the numbers now, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah, they were hoping that it would only lose $50 million. Lose $50 million, guys. Instead, they lost $80 million. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely incredible. Now, at no point during this did I honestly, I didn't think it was going to lose money. I thought it just wasn't going to do very well. And then I was like, it's going to break even. This is a Star Wars movie. This is why Kathleen Kennedy had to go. She made a Star Wars movie and it lost $80 million for Disney. I'd say that underplayed expectations.
No, I mean, I said this. I said this on a video the other day, but even my lowest expectations, this surpasses them. I was just saying, hey, if this movie does, maybe the lowest this movie can do is 700 million worldwide, and that will send a message. This movie may not even break $400 million is the last estimates I heard worldwide. Is that the latest?
Would you say your expectations have been subverted?
Yeah.
Well played.
Rian Johnson, he subverted our expectations and we subverted his. Now, my concern is that Rian Johnson know that he is partially responsible for this. Now, I don't want Rian Johnson out there, his head wobbling around on his shoulders, thinking that he like feeling good about himself because his movie did better than this. Ryan, you do need to know. You do need to understand that this movie flopped in such a dramatic way because of the utter betrayal of The Last Jedi. And most normal people who went to see this movie, people who aren't really obsessive fans the way we are, they don't connect different directors. They just say, Star Wars. I'm going to go see a Star Wars movie. Your movie was garbage. And they did go to see it anyway because they were hoping to see a nice Luke Skywalker movie. Everybody wanted to know what happened to Luke Skywalker. That is the only reason why anybody went to see this movie. They didn't go for Rey. They didn't go for Finn. They didn't go for fucking Kroger Darth Maul.
Kroger. What do you know about
phrase
Kroger?
From World Class?
There we go.
Yeah, I love that. They didn't go for that. They went to see what happened to Luke Skywalker and to a lesser degree Princess Leia. They were shocked by what they saw with Princess Leia. Absolutely shocked. That was weird. And they were horrified by what they saw that you did to Luke Skywalker. And we all got the message, Ryan. We got the message. We understood what you were trying to do. You were trying to emasculate and humiliate Mark Hamill because Mark Hamill thought you were a fool, just like everyone thinks you're a fool who isn't beholden to you. And now normal people, they have just associated all movies, all Star Wars movies, with The Last Jedi. And I will tell you this, they will continue to sink. Now, what Disney also needs to understand, and I think they do, but I want to make sure that the fans understand this, because I've made this point on my own channel. I want you to understand that there are two different tracks that these movies are going on. Okay, there are the main movies. There's episode 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then there are these little sub movies like Rogue One and Solo, and probably Boba Fett and Obi-Wan and Rose Tico, God willing. Those movies are on a different track than the big movies. So I want you to notice that, like, from The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi, there was a drop of like 40%. 40% in box office take. That is a downhill slope. And then on the other side, you have Rogue One, and then now Solo. Rogue One made $1.08 billion, I believe. Solo made $400 million. That is a sharp decline. Now, you can't see Episode 9 as a spike from Solo. When you see Episode 9 and what happens with it's going to make more money, much more money than Solo. But you have to understand, it's going to make less money than The Last Jedi. So they're on two different tracks. Boba Fett is going to make less money than Solo. So is Obi-Wan. This is a downward trajectory. Two different tracks that cannot be denied. I want Rian Johnson to know that when J.J. Abrams' Episode 9 flops, as it will, and it will flop, it will flop, I want him to know that that is also his fault. And it's not that his movie was better and that's why it made more. I want him to understand that his presence is an anvil around the neck of Star Wars, and he does need to go. He needs to go. And I do think that in September, if Kathleen Kennedy does indeed appoint her successor, Rian Johnson will be gone. By the way, bye-bye Pablo Hidalgo. No Pablo Hidalgo anymore. Get the f*** out of here. Take your attitude, take your big fat ass and your stupid therm scissor punch. Get the hell out of my Star Wars.
God
Get out
damn.
of here. He's going to be gone too. The old regime is gone.
The story group has to go.
Yeah.
The story group has to go. That is a problem. It definitely is a problem. And that's part of Pablo and Carrie Hart. And it's all going to blow up. And yes, you're right, Ethan. We want Ryan to know. And he's going to know. And it's a beautiful thing. And he's going to cry his round head to sleep every night thinking about it. And it's going to be beautiful. And you're going to use your celebrity status to make sure he knows, right, Ethan?
Well, we all are. We're all equal celebrities around here. So we're all going to let them know. And the fans are going to let them know. I'm going to make T-shirts, by the way, that say no Hablo Pablo. I want everyone to wear those. They're going to have his big round head on them as well. And with his little scowl, his little sarcastic smirk about your Snoke theory sucks. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody cares about Snoke.
Nope, they didn't.
Nobody cares. When you're making it up as you go, nobody cares what the answer is. Nobody cares. Nobody cares who Rey's parents are. You ruined it. Nobody cares about any of these fragile little mysteries that JJ put into place with his experience on Lost, which he did good stuff on that. I still love JJ.
I like Lost. I know all of my channel. When I say that on my channel, they ready to unsubscribe immediately. So,
can you imagine if Rian Johnson directed like the last season of Lost? Because I mean, essentially, that's what The Last Jedi was. I mean, Rian Johnson coming in and ruining every single thread that J.J. Abrams put down. So we need to let him know this is all his fault. He does need to go. Now, should Kathleen Kennedy go and be gone, like I believe she is, I'm willing to give Episode 9 a second chance. I'm willing to look at the creative team. I make this promise to Lucasfilm. If you remove the current regime, Comic Artist Pro Secrets and the Fandom Menace will wipe the slate clean. We will wipe the slate clean. We will give you a second chance. At the bottom of all of this is the fact that I love Star Wars. I don't hate Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I hate these I hate these people that are involved right now. With a passion. They're nasty people who have no talent, don't understand Star Wars. They have no storytelling ability, and they all need to go. They all need to hit the bricks. Now, if this could be made possible, I promise the Lord Jesus Christ above, right now, by the I forswear, Lord, I will give Star Wars one more chance. And episode 9, I am going to support until I have reason to not support. And I will inspire and direct my fans and my subscribers. Also, I will ask them to do the same. We need to get rid of these idiots. And that is what we will give them in return.
Well, it's happening. I mean, the slap in the face has happened, and they're all on notice. And I've got it on good authority. I can't say anything about specifics, but I hear that Lucasfilm is very aware of what's going on, and the people that are working on 9 actually hated Episode 8, and that doesn't surprise me. So I don't know. I'm gonna let Jeff jump in though.
I'm going to jump back to the super chats because we have a bunch, and I don't want anyone to think we don't care about our fans like Lucasfilm does. Shane Rich says, "What are your thoughts on Star Wars Theory's Vader fan film on Kickstarter? It looks to be everything Disney is not able to do." Have you guys heard of this?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Well, if it makes funding, I'm gonna have a starring role in it.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, Theory. I'm friends with Star Wars Theory. I've been trying to spread the word about this Vader fan film. It sounds incredible. So if you haven't seen the video he uploaded where he talks about it, I highly suggest you do go over there and support that. I know a lot of the details about that Vader fan film. It's going to be incredible. He's shooting for the stars. It doesn't look like he's going to make funding because he's going for like a $1.1 million budget. He is, but he's told me, he's like, I'm all in on this, man. We gotta go big or go home. So it sounds incredible.
Now I want to hear about it, so I'm going to check it out after we get off the show.
I'll send you a link to the video.
Cool. Besker Armor says, "Look how I utilize my caps key." Thank you, Besker Armor. Christopher Burkle. "Branded moist makes me even more moist than Fabio." Ooh. Party Om Civi says, "We did it. Once more, the Sith shall rule the galaxy, and then we shall have peace." Smug grin. Order 66 intensifies.
Yes.
Beckett Baldwin. "Jeff, your John Campea show video had me rolling. He had it coming after attacking the Star Wars fandom since The Force Awakens."
That was a great video.
That was Jeff's Tupac hit 'em up video right there. That was
I like that
beautiful.
song. Well, the thing is, just for a moment, people keep talking about shills to me. Shills, get these shills, talk about these shills. Look, it takes me a while to put these videos out, not because it's hard to do. It's because you really have to look into who's a shill, who's not a shill. Just because we share differing opinions doesn't make that person a shill. You like The Force Awakens, right, Jeremy?
Yep. Well, I used to.
Well, either way, you're not a shill.
Right.
Your opinion wasn't paid for. Wouldn't call you a shill. I dislike the film. We can have a debate.
I like Rogue One.
I do too.
I didn't like Rogue One that much. So
my thing about Rogue One is it's a tie into my favorite Star Wars movie. So more of that just makes me happy.
Well, see, the thing I didn't. Rogue One had some great, moments, and the last 45 minutes was phenomenal. I loved Krennic. I loved the Vader scene. My whole problem was I felt like, and not that this would be a problem if it would have worked, but I felt like the casting for the Rebellion side was a very conscious effort to not cast a white male. And they all sucked. Everybody on the Rebellion side sucked. Jyn Erso sucked. Cassian sucked. They all sucked. K2SO was all right. But I was just like, if we had stronger characters, and I don't give a shit what color or race they are, but it just felt like a very strategic marketing ploy to do diverse casting for the Rebellion side. And that really, to me, Star Wars films need characters, memorable characters. And I just found none of the Rebellion side memorable. And it kind of derailed the movie for me.
Well, I think when they mistake representation with good character development, you get Disney Star Wars movies. It wasn't really hard to see what they were doing because you had Riz Ahmed, you had the guy who blew the dude from Y Tu Mama Tambien, Jyn Erso. The only white dude in the movie was the villain, main white guy. The thing is, it doesn't matter, but they're making it about it. So when we read into it too, it's not always in their favor.
Right.
Rogue One is not perfect. I think it's fine. Like, I like it enough, but I mean, there's a better movie somewhere in there. I'm really interested to see if that director's cut could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's pretty much universal, and I think the tide has shifted a lot on The Force Awakens, but I think it's universal now that Rogue One is definitely the most liked Disney Star Wars movie by far at this point.
I went out unironically and purchased it when I was at Costco. Yeah, it was an impulse buy, but I didn't feel any guilt when I purchased that movie because go listen to my review. I was really happy with that movie, partially because of how much I hated Episode 7, and it kind of rolled into this with Rogue One. But going back, I would say it's like a 7 out of 10. Like it's the best they've done because all those SJW characters either died, or here's one thing, and this is the last tangent I'll go on to. When she tried to beat up those guys in the beginning of the movie, and K2SO chokeslammed Jyn Erso, I knew, like, okay, no more of this shit. And for the most part, we didn't get too much of that shit, like Rey in The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I told everybody that even though I did enjoy The Force Awakens, I haven't watched it since The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi has made me really just have a really bad taste in my mouth about The Force Awakens. So I'm going to be destroying all of my copies of The Force Awakens with my golf club very soon. I'm going to be recording this, so we're gonna set it up on a tee, and I'm going to destroy all of them. I have a couple of Blu-rays and a DVD, so it's going to be really cool.
I'll go one step further. When my friend bought it on Blu-ray, I hid his copy, and then he moved, and I hid it even more. It took him 2 years to find it, so I just found it recently.
And yes, so people are mentioning Ben Mendelsohn in that cape. Yes, and they cut that damn scene out from the trailer where Ben Mendelsohn was walking through the water and his cape was draped. That was so amazing, but they cut that out of the final movie. But Ben Mendelsohn is one of my favorite actors. I think he's phenomenal.
Rumor has it I bought a Director Krennic action figure. Anyway, British Metalwork says, did you read my last message? So is Rey a Mary Sue or a Peggy Sue? Also, Ethan, is your toe thumb covered in Tico's moist fudge? Ew!
Come on, what the...
Sorry, British Metalworks, that I missed your message. I apologize. Rey is definitely a Mary Sue. If you go by the textbook definition, Rey fits Mary Sue. And some enlightened woman who is 20% woman and 80% Star Wars loved to call in Luke Skywalker and say, well, he basically flew the equivalent of a B-52 bomber when he's only good with a biplane into the Death Star. And then I responded, because I normally don't get involved in these Twitter wars that people tag me in. I read them, I laugh, I move on with my day. But I appreciate people bringing that nonsense to my attention. But I did say to her, without even bringing up diversity or representation or anything, I said, it's not like Luke was mentioned 10 times. Well, I gave you every example, so I think it was 5. But now, it's not like it was mentioned 5 times throughout the film that Luke is a fantastic pilot. It's almost like the movie was trying to tell us, hey, before this movie takes place, the guy's already a fantastic pilot. So I just don't know why people have to try to tear down him to elevate her. That just goes to show what a weak character she is. Matt77 says EVS is the unofficial leader of the Tico movement.
Official.
Yeah. Timothy Riggs says Star Wars Chapter 11, The Fudge Moistens. Shane Gale, if you could just send a basic non-super chat. I got the top part, but I didn't get the bottom, so I apologize. I just don't want to, not give your just due. Mega Lone Wolf 20 says Chuck Wendig is a sexist. He was on a panel in Phoenix Comic Fest, and my sister asked him a question, and he treated her like she was an idiot.
That's not surprising.
Yeah. Gratz says, I think Jon Favreau and Filoni would be the best. Favreau is already doing Star Wars TV shows and hit Disney movies like Lion King and Jungle Book.
I'm a huge fan of Favreau. I didn't like Jungle Book as much. I know almost everyone else did, but I didn't. But outside, Favreau's great, and he is so passionate about Star Wars. So you could find a better person to get more involved with the creative process with him and Filoni. That would be fantastic.
I say no. Look no further than Iron Man. I mean, look what Jon Favreau did. He started the wheels of the MCU moving, and I think without his take on Iron Man, we wouldn't have Infinity War being one of the biggest movies of all time and stuff like that. I think Jon Favreau really can't make anything too terrible. Now, I haven't seen the the Jungle Book, so I can't really say it's like this great piece of art.
It's a pretty movie, but to me it fell really flat. So, but everybody loves it. So,
are you guys excited about the TV show?
Here's the thing: it's just going to be used to sell the streaming service, which I'm not buying. Like, unless they take over Hulu and it switches instantly, I'm not going to support a Disney product like that.
Is that what it is? I thought it was just going to be on ABC or something.
No, it's going to be on the streaming service.
Dude, streaming's the future.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way of the future, man. If you don't have an internet connection, you don't have access to everything. And Disney's trying to capitalize on it. No matter what we say about Lucasfilm and Disney, they are smart people. They have the best resources behind them. So,
which makes it even more confusing as to why they're so goddamn dumb right now. But they listen to money. So they will give up their social justice warrior ways as soon as the money starts drying up, and you'll find out how much they really care about the shit that they try to act like they care about.
That's great. That's good news, because that means, again, Kathleen Kennedy is going to be held to account.
Oh God, these keep rolling in. Thank you to everyone who is patient with us reading these, because they're good though. God, my phone cannot keep up with this shit. Sorry. I'll stop saying Kevthar1138, anti-Sarslesian as a guest at Gen Con. Go. You guys know who Anita Sarkeesian? Ethan, especially you.
Yeah,
I
of
do.
course I do. Yeah.
She is the biggest pariah ever. Like, I don't wish anything bad physically to happen to her, but I wish she would just forget everything about her life and just run off to Nepal or something. Like, I can't. She brings nothing good to the table. No positivity, no fun. She just shits on stuff she doesn't understand.
Yeah, and she plucks her eyebrows down to these tiny little lines on her face. Her forehead. Like, have mercy on your goddamn forehead. What is up with those eyebrows and then the lip liner?
She's probably like a super hairy chick who's trying to downplay it, so.
Well, she's very, very odd. And yeah, I wish she would stop talking about the patriarchy. Listen, we're here to stay. The patriarchy is here to stay. I'm really sorry if you don't like it. We built everything. We're not going nowhere. The patriarchy is a good thing. So bow down. Enjoy us. Men do good things. What do you guys think of this? Right or wrong?
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I don't see. The thing is, when she talks about the patriarchy and all that shit, I thankfully graduated college right as that stuff started to come out. So I avoid her like the plague and all those people.
Well,
I feel like she's got a bit of a professional wrestling mentality about her. She just plays this shit up to the point where it's financially beneficial for her and whatever, if that's her thing.
Please do not.
So no, I didn't.
Wrestling.
No, I didn't mean it like that. But you know what I'm saying.
I'm just busting your balls.
No, I know.
I used to be a huge wrestling fan.
So did I back in the day, but I can't deal with it anymore. Yeah, I just think she plays this shit up because it's financially beneficial, and more power to her if that's what she's doing. I just can't take her. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I say this all the time. The market determines the market. If she's found something that benefits her and there's enough crazy people that want to support her, then go for it. I just don't take her seriously. I don't take anything she says seriously. So I'd never really I'll never make a video on her because I don't think she's worth it. Because she's just, I just don't think she's
I made one. I made a Anita Sarkeesian video.
Well, you're Ethan. You can do things I can't.
That's not an excuse for bad behavior and making mistakes. You're Ethan. No, I made a video. Anita Sarkeesian's review of Solo was so wonderful. She took L337 personally as an attack on herself. And I was like, God damn, you are so right. I like L337 all of a sudden. It's basically a caricature, a mockery of activist culture and feminism. I'm like, yeah, it is. That's somebody watched Boofire 191's video. I like that.
And you got shot.
Yeah. So I actually, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about Anita Sarkeesian. Maybe people don't like that, but I did enjoy making that video about her. It was fun.
Well, she can't ruin video games because there's that old phrase, money talks and bullshit walks. And people are going to play Call of Duty and all these other games where you're a guy with a gun. And she can try to change the world, but these producers or these game studios want to make money. So,
well, Ethan, I do copy you though. I've learned to point my camera at my computer and talk. That's gold right there. So, that's your thing. Oh yeah, people are calling me out. They're like, "Are you just copying Ethan?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm copying Ethan. He's killing it."
Yeah, but you're copying. I'm copying diversity in comics, really. Except he points a camera at a comic book. But this is something I talk about like all the time. I'm like, somebody said, "Oh, these guys are just talk radio hosts for Star Wars and pop culture." I'm like, yes, that's correct. That's exactly what we are. There's nothing better than talk radio. I don't want people to have to sit in front of their computer to watch us. I want to have my video up in the morning so they can listen. Just listen to me on the way to work. They're visuals if you want to look, but you don't need them. I think what we're doing is kind of revolutionary. Talk radio, yeah. So I mean, listen, I'm not doing anything special. Copy away. I would copy you if I were as handsome as you.
Now you're full
No,
of shit.
no homo.
No, there's a reason I wear my hat because y'all don't want to see my Justin Timberlake fucking hair. Okay, so there's a reason. Everybody says I'm bald. I'm like, I kind of wish I was bald at this point with this bullshit on my head. So yeah, but now you're just making fun of me. You're making fun of me because I'm not handsome. So.
I'm not.
I told everybody I had a man crush on John Bernthal earlier, and they all were getting pissed at me. So
I met him
that
once.
Yeah.
He's really nice.
He's a cool cat. I like him. So
yeah.
All right, go ahead. I know Jeff, you got to catch up. Go for it.
Grot says, I think Jon Favreau and Filoni would be the best. Wait, already read that one. Sorry. This one comes from Kleindropper. What do we do about Episode 9, Chapter 11 if KK is out this fall? Can it be saved? It doesn't start film until July, but like Diversity in Comics says, these people always double down. They're going to double down. Look what's going on right now. Episode 9, you just got to speak with your wallet, and you can't expect it to be changed at all. They don't want to change. That's the thing. They don't want to change. They want to do the same thing, and if we go and see it, they don't care.
Again, as you and I'm sure Ethan and Jeff are experiencing this too. I'm not going to get too far into it, but once you have a YouTube channel that's growing at the rate ours is growing, I've received some emails from some people that I will not name, and some of the information I've gotten is very interesting. I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with all of this stuff with getting information like this, but I'm hearing that people at Lucasfilm are very aware of what's going on, and they're very worried. And there's a lot of the divide we see within the fandom is the same divide going on at Lucasfilm right now. And a lot of people that are working on Episode 9 are we're very frustrated with Episode 8. I don't have any names to attach to that. That's as vague as I've gotten it. So that's as vague as I'm giving it to you. And again, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just trying to learn this stuff as it comes to me. So I think that's interesting information. That could be somebody just planting information because they know the type of reach we have for us to say this stuff. So take it for what it is. So
I get insiders from like Hasbro, which are cool because this guy has proven who he is. But I got all this information about Star Wars toys, which I can make a video. But he specifically asked, I just want to share it with you. So I definitely. Sometimes, like the first time I had an insider contact me, I was like, is this legit? And then they gave me all these phone numbers and emails and they stuff about Pablo Hidalgo. And I put that video out there. We checked all the sources. They were all legit. So we went through with it. So I'm hoping that your source is legit because she's got to pay, man. Like she's made bad decisions. It's not that she's a woman or we dislike her on a personal level, but anyone that's ever... Well, go ahead.
But those... No, never mind. Go ahead.
I was going to say, anyone that's that inept at running a business needs to be fired. A lot of people in the comic book industry needs to be fired. So we'll get into that later. Yami Caleb says, hey, Uncle E, no one ever mentions the KOTOR fan base. I wish they made it canon and or a movie/TV series. Love the High Council with you three.
We love you too.
Yes, we do. By the way, folks, now that I found out that Knights of the Old Republic is a real-time strategy game, like a real-time RPG, I'm going to go pick up a copy and play it. And so
I'm playing through it now. So
how is it on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you give it?
It's well, see, because the problem of me not playing it previously is number one, it's one of those time-consuming games, and I just don't have a lot of time. I never have. But I would always play it because I'm not a PC guy. I'm always a console guy. And you play it on the Xbox. It came out on the Xbox. Play it on the Xbox 360, and it's very choppy. It's crappy, because it hasn't aged well. But if you play it on the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X, it's actually upscaled substantially with the frame rate. So playing it on the Xbox One S, it runs so much smoother, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. The story is incredible. The atmosphere is incredible. The gameplay is phenomenal. And you have to take it for the fact that it came out so long ago. You can't compare it to God of War or something.
Yeah, it's 15 years old.
Yeah, so I'm loving it, though. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
I want to check it out. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have time for video games right now. I'm glued to this computer
same here,
17 hours a day.
Yeah, I bought God of War brand new, and I've played maybe 4 hours of it, and I love it. It's fantastic. I just don't have time because I'm the type of gamer that if I play a game that requires story and time, I want to zone in. I don't want to look at my phone every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And I'm just not in a position where I can not look at my phone every 5 minutes right now. And for all you people saying PC Master Race, it's Nintendo Master Race, motherfuckers. Okay? Mario Kart all day long. So
which Mario Kart?
any of them. But if you want to add, it's so hard to pinpoint my favorite Mario Kart. I kind of always lean to either the Super Nintendo version or Double Dash. So, but they're all great. But Double Dash to me had the best mechanics of any Mario Kart game, and I loved the 2-player option, and it allows you to hold an item and then have another item to hold behind you. So, yeah. But all Mario Kart games are great.
I love the newest one on the Switch.
Oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, played all the time. It's great.
Deshandre Morant says, did Disney ever give a reason why they closed LucasArts? It just seemed weird they wouldn't want to keep it in-house instead of Greed itself with EA. Maybe EA offered them too much money. I don't know. Licensing's better than doing it in-house, I guess.
Yeah.
Darth Caesar says, the story group needs to go. They are worthless.
Oh, man, do I agree. I mean, what a bunch of losers, like nerds that just like got in a position of power, and now they're shitting on fans and coming up with terrible names like Moloch and Therm Scissor Punch. Get out of here. All of them have to go. We need to clean house. I want to get I'm with people who want to get back to the EU a little bit more. For the next well, what do you think about guys in a fantasy situation? What do you think about wiping all this from canon? How do you
the sequel trilogy?
Yeah, I mean it's like, I know we lost Princess Leia. What do you think about starting over again? Would that be a dream come true or what?
That's the only option that can make everything right at this point.
I'm with you on wiping it clean. I would like if they tried to do that. Okay, so we all saw Tron Legacy. Opinions aside, remember that weird technology they used for Jeff Bridges' face, or they did it with Grand Moff Tarkin? I wouldn't be opposed to hiring capable semi lookalikes, trying to replicate what they do, where they like augment actors' faces and give us a post Return of the Jedi story. Make it good, but make it look like the characters, because the reason Alden Ehrenreich doesn't, well, many reasons, but when a character is played by the same actor for 40 years and you bring out a new one, it's hard for people to accept that. I don't think if you hired Alden Ehrenreich to play Han Solo again, it would work. But if you were to go back, if you could wipe the slate clean and have like the weird CGI but perfected, and have like Harrison Ford and all the actors back in terms of like the characters, I would buy into that. You could do Thrawn trilogy, you could do the Yuzon Vong, you could do one of my favorite books is The Courtship of Princess Leia. Not saying that would make a great movie, but you have access to all that stuff that is Star Warsy. It's weird that people that were just like commissioned by Lucasfilm to write these stories created better stuff than Lucasfilm does in-house. It's almost like those people were fans, and you just have a bunch of people that are in the right position because they kissed a lot of ass.
Yeah.
Well, someone said, and this is kind of playing into what you're talking about, but kind of not. But someone is talking about the Solo movie, and they in my chat earlier, and they said that why, if they really want to do a Han Solo movie, why didn't they just do a prequel to Episode 7 with Harrison Ford, like right before Episode 7, and use Harrison Ford? That would have been actually great.
It would have been. I don't think he wants to do it. And
no, 100% he wouldn't. But that idea, if they really wanted Harrison Ford, they could throw enough money at him. They could get him. But that just shows the mindset at Lucasfilm, where they're more concerned with rewriting history, the history we've all experienced, and that's what bothers me the most right now.
Thankfully, though, we have one, dedicated people that won't allow it. Two, we have stuff like Wikipedia, which can be edited, but at least it's an account of what came before, and a lot of people do read that, so at least it spreads what was there before. Like, Lucasfilm does not have the power to wipe everything away. Like, the comic books and those movies and the things that people like have physical releases. They can't wipe our minds. I mean, we don't live there yet. Maybe one day we will, but
well, no, but I think the idea was with the Solo movie, I firmly believe the idea was to transition any future Han Solo merchandising over to Alden Ehrenreich and erase Harrison Ford's Han Solo from any future merchandise. So anytime you show Han Solo in the future, it's always Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo. That's not going to happen now, thankfully, because the fans let them know that that's not what we're not going to stand for this shit. You know what I mean? But I firmly believe that was the intent, to just rewrite it and erase it for future generations, so they can put their own social justice stamp onto it in their own soy ways.
Well, I think that's correct. I think that they were planning on recasting Leia. They were going to do a young Leia movie. They'd do a young Luke movie. And eventually they would tell the stories using the original characters from the original trilogy. my feeling is Lucasfilm came to the realization that anything outside of George Lucas, the characters that George Lucas created, there's no future in it for them. There's no money in it for them. So they'd really need to tell more stories like Solo, recast all the characters, and then tell all the in-betweener stories as these actors and actresses age into their roles. They've already got Lando. They've got Han Solo. They've certainly got Chewbacca. Now all they need is Luke and Leia, and they can do all kinds of fuckery.
But a Luke story they should never do a Luke story because he lives on a desert planet. All they're going to do, the story would be, oh, well, Luke ran into some Tusken Raiders. Oh, Luke got ripped off by a Jawa. Oh, Luke got eaten by a crate dragon. Yeah, Womp Rats. Like, the Luke story doesn't lead a lot. And the Leia movie would be the most heavy-handed piece of shit ever. I know people like Millie Bobby Brown and Stranger Things, and that's a fine show. That. But, what a young Leia, what's she going to do? Be in the Senate and this crap? It's not even going to be an interesting story. Like, you guys love Princess Leia. We love Princess Leia. But when you take away the mystery of these characters, that's when you take away what sparks our imaginations about them. It's not necessarily seeing every little thing they do. I love James Bond. When they give you a glimpse into his personal life, it makes you question a lot of things. You don't want to know what James Bond does in between missions when he drinks himself to sleep. That's just not interesting. You want to see him banging chicks and blowing up shit. By the way, Jeremy, you've missed out on a lot of excellent James Bond entertainment. I'm going to hold you to that forever.
Well, listen, Nolan is probably going to do a James Bond movie at some point.
He has. It's called Skyfall. Haven't you seen it? It's The Dark Knight with James Bond.
Well, but Nolan's a massive Bond fan, and he can do it when he wants. If he does it, that's going to make me interested in Bond movies. So, because I worship Christopher Nolan. So,
Christopher Nolan is fine. I like his Batman trilogy. I loved Memento. I really loved Inception. I want to see Dunkirk. Haven't had a chance to. So I really don't have anything too bad to say about Christopher Nolan. But if you honestly were to watch Skyfall, it's like
I've seen. No, wait. Now I've seen Skyfall. I've seen Skyfall. I've seen I saw one of the Pierce Brosnan ones with Terry Hatcher. Was it Terry Hatcher?
Oh, you saw Tomorrow Never Dies. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that one. I enjoyed it. I don't dislike
you gotta
the
see
movies.
Goldeneye. Oh,
They just they never really jumped out at me as anything I really need to invest my time in. So
well, it was funny back in the 90s before, like when Batman had kind of slowed down, the Bond movies were like the big release of each year. So I'm coming in from that standpoint. 2002 was a weird year. You had a Bond movie, a Star Wars movie, Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. It was a packed year at the box office. And Attack of the Clones is the only Star Wars movie to not be number one. Spider-Man beat it. Lord of the Rings, I think, came in second, and then maybe Star Wars is third. But that's not important. What's important, though, are these super chats. And I apologize for people that are waiting. But we have so many people watching right now. By the way, guys, I think this is maybe the most watched High Council.
27 watching right now. Oh, it's just growing and growing. And, we do want to take a moment and just thank you guys for your continued support of the High Council and also all of our individual channels. We hope you're subscribed to all three of us. We do love you very much, and thank you for being here for us.
Yes. By the way, Ethan, I had a couple of guys on our live stream on my channel, and we had 4,700. So I want to top that. Maybe if tonight's cool, but if not, we'll do it next week. I want to hit those numbers. We had Razor Fist, Retro Blastin, and Mauler on, and we talked for like 3 hours about Star Wars, which
wonderful. Yeah, that's great. We can do that. We can get those numbers.
I believe in us. We need to get a High Council website launched one day. Anyway, Timothy Riggs, good friend of the show. Solo will lose at least $80 million. And that's only against the reported production budget. And reshoots and marketing, and holy shit.
It's much more.
Yeah, the J. Maserati. Not sure if you heard, but I guess Johnson's new trilogy was going to be set in an entirely new galaxy. Didn't we already say that one? Did we cover that?
Yeah, it's going to be in the Looper 2 galaxy because he's going to get fired.
So. Anyway, J. Maserati, if we didn't read your super chat earlier, thank you. I don't know if somebody sent in the same question, but I don't want to throw you under the bus. American Trent 421. To have a flop in Star Wars takes special ineptitude.
Amazing.
Zaire, good guy Ryan Johnson helps stop movie piracy by making crappy movies. Kevithar1138, Anita Sarslesian is a guest at Gen Con. I read that one, sorry. Odin's movie blog, Big Donkey Flop. Love you guys. We love you too, Odin. Tea Time 21. Do SJWs just hate science fiction? Halo, Mass Effect, and Star Wars all meddled with and their weird agendas. Do you guys do Mass Effect or anything like that? What was the deal? I've heard it a lot, but I'm not the guy to talk about gaming.
That's Jeremy. I'm not a video game guy either, unfortunately.
You didn't like the Green Lantern video game?
I've got the Mass Effect trilogy sitting on my shelf, and I've never ever gotten a chance to try it. So again, busy life. Mass Effect's one of those games that requires a lot of time, a lot of focus, and I just don't have it. So I can't speak directly to it.
I miss the days where I could spend like 9 hours playing Grand Theft Auto. Like
I know the Mass Effect trilogy was a massive success. Everyone loved it. The third one really upset a lot of people with some of the decision making towards the end of the game. But then Andromeda came out and just pissed everybody off, and it was a complete disaster. But this is what they do. They always take something successful and they try to SJW it up, and when it fails, then they act stupid, like they don't understand why it failed. Like, quit changing things up to fit your social narrative and just keep things keep them in line with what made them successful. It's not that complicated.
No, it's like they don't want to make the money.
Right.
They only care about their social justice message. They don't care about Star Wars. They care about the message. They're using Star Wars as a vehicle for the message. So, of course, when you tell them that, they're going to tell you to go after yourself.
Shout out to everybody in the chat that's given love to Dunkirk, because it is the best war movie ever. Just wanted to go ahead and let everybody know. I'm reading that.
I haven't seen it yet.
So.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. Best war movie ever. Okay. Yeah. You know what? We need to do one of those watch parties I do. We'll do it together, and we'll watch some Nolan stuff, Jeremy, and you can fill me in. How's that sound?
I'm getting real turned on right now. So,
by the way, we have to do a patron live hangout for The Dark Knight in July. I'll give you the date off air if you have the time.
Oh, look, man, my family comes second when it comes to Nolan movies, so you just let me know.
Well, that patient's going to get an added bonus because we're going to have another YouTuber on, but he really loves Batman and The Dark Knight. I do. And if you look it, we should talk about it in July because it's the 10th anniversary of The Dark Knight. We could do a whole thing about where we've come from superhero movies and all that stuff. Let's work together on a video like that.
Definitely. Definitely.
People
I get the chat is fucking pissed at me right now for saying that about Dunkirk.
Isn't that the one with the guy from One Direction in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll find out if he dies later. The Page Mistress. The biggest problem is that there's nowhere to go with episode 9 now that episode 8 is a dead end. Thank you, Page Mistress. That is my biggest problem. Episode 7 really kind of dead ended in many ways too. The villain's been defeated. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless.
Dio Brando says, don't drink the scissor punch. Commander Rose Tico, any chance of Luke Skywalker could be alive in episode 9? We can hope, dude. Rose Tico's a chick. I apologize. Let's see. Let me get another one. Give me a quick second, guys, because all these people just sent in more. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Marco Baggio's back. Thank you. Real quick, this is out of order, but Colton Box says, sorry, Jeremy, A Bridge Too Far is the best war movie.
I mean, it's okay. There's a lot. Look, there's people that like The Last Jedi. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. No, thank you for the super chat, though.
Let's see what else. Oh God, so about Mike Zero. The 007 Cloud says Jesse Milestone is in the Han Solo eulogy I mentioned to you guys. Have you guys seen the Han Solo eulogy yet?
No, actually, eulogy. Jesse Milestone made it. I was actually supposed to have a part in that video, and I just didn't have time, so I haven't watched it yet.
Is Jesse working for you now?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell, dude? When did you incorporate? What's going on?
Dude, I've been incorporating forever. I've got like 40 people that work for me at Geeks and Gamers.
I'm stunned. I turned on one of your videos, and first of all, there was I think, what was her name? Star Wars girl?
Anna. Yep, Anna.
And then I was like, wow, that's great. And then Jesse working for you. I was jealous.
Ivan Ortega is on the channel. He's officially on the channel now. So
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've got SC Reviews on there. He's on there.
I know that guy. He's cool.
Mm-hmm. How many videos do you upload a day?
Just a couple. So I don't do as much as you, because you just have this ability to just do live streaming all day long.
Well,
But,
yeah. Well, no, I do 2 live streams a day. But what I'm saying is, do you assign these guys something? Do you go, hey, Jesse, cover this?
Yeah, well, they send me the videos, and typically they're not time sensitive videos, so it's just something I can kind of fit in where I need. But I am working on slowly developing a schedule for the channel. But I'm working on a lot of things for the channel because we're trying to get more gaming content, but nobody gives a shit about gaming. They just want to hear people shit on Star Wars. But yeah, I've got a lot of plans for the channel. So yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of things going on. We have a podcast network. We have a Twitch streaming. We have the website. I have an editor-in-chief. I have an associate editor. We have a writing team. I have admins on social media.
How many episodes have you had for your podcast?
We have like 4 different podcasts under the network.
Okay.
We have like a gaming podcast. It's kind of changed a lot though, because my attention has shifted so much over to YouTube. Podcasting is kind of been out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're on episode 126 this week. I can't believe that thing.
And I'm not on any of the podcasts.
Oh, really?
No, I have people on my team that do the podcast. So
there's not a single video that appears on this channel that I didn't make. Like, there's other people on our videos, but I'm the one that's up editing it. No complaints, though. Fucking love it. Teresa Martin says, Kathleen Antoinette Kennedy. Mr. Pete channel. Ask EVS if he likes to eat pink Ticos. Ew. Well, I mean, it's not ew.
Yeah, actually, sure. You better believe it.
Yeah, David Hervey. What do you guys think about Urban Acolyte? I think he's not a shill, but a blind loyalist of anything Star Wars. Plus, he always takes shots at guys like you. You guys know who Urban Acolyte is? Because I do.
I know who he is because somebody sent me a video where he called me a motherfucker, and I was
I seen that. I seen that guy.
And I mean, every time somebody, a YouTuber, mentions me or mentions one of you guys, I go to their Social Blade stats and I see that their numbers are declining. That's a common theme with all these little YouTube channels that get so butthurt. And I also look at their subs versus their views, and it's a very, very wide gap. I don't expect my channel at least to always have the growth that it's having or the views that it's having. But if it happens, if it does die off, it's going to be my fault. So if your viewers aren't watching your channel, maybe create some good content for them. So
well, there was a guy that I used to watch religiously. His name was Alpha Omega Sin, and he took a long break, and I forgot about him. And now he's back, and I haven't watched the video. Don't even dislike him.
I like that dude.
He was awesome. Like, when I would watch his videos, him and Razor Fist were like my angry videos that I would watch and be like, "Fuck yeah," type of thing. And just that gap, like, you guys, you can't forget that. Well, all of us, we can't forget that we're around because we're constantly coming out. I have a slightly different approach, but either way, there's not a day of the week that goes by that you don't hear from all of us.
Yep.
We're hitting it on all the fronts. I think that's where, like, guys like Urban Acolyte, because look, I've watched a couple of his videos. I'm not going to subscribe. I'm not a fan. He's just too angry and militant for me. But, you know, when you, like you said, you go to these things when they call us out to see where they are, and people like even up in the higher levels, like a John Campea, that's why he's making Kathleen Kennedy videos and stuff. It's fear that they're becoming irrelevant because they kissed somebody's ass for so long and people don't trust them. You got to instill trust with your audience. Like, people may not like what you say, Jeremy, about like Dunkirk and shit like that, but at least you're being honest with them.
Hey, the other day, some guy on Twitter dropped, some guy just kept bitching about my videos. I said, okay, so clearly you've seen all my fucking videos because you know everything I say. Why do you keep watching me? And he couldn't give an answer. And actually, Jeremy Johns responded in there and left the clip from Private Parts talking about Howard Stern's listeners and how the people that hated Howard Stern actually listened more than the people that loved Howard Stern. And so, yeah, I mean, you idiots are just making us more famous by the day. So keep talking about us. So
I think it was Oscar Wilde that says the only thing worse than people talking about you behind your back is people not talking about you at all. So that's a quote I live by.
That's right. That's right.
Wow, God, these are so many. Thank you, though. I can't bitch about. Okay, this comes from I guess it's Jair Martinez Perez. Sup, Uncle Ethan, cousin Jeremy, and the other dude. Thanks, man. You come to my channel and I'm the other dude.
That's Jeff.
Yeah, it's Jeff. World class bullshitters. Hey, at least you're here. Michael Kuchelin says, "Hey guys, Mike Zero did an about face last night on one of his vids. Repeated the same thing you guys have been saying. Who the fuck is Mike Zero? Like, I keep hearing his name. I've never watched one of his videos.
I watched him.
Zero. He's interesting, man. I don't know. He's got a pretty big channel. He's got like 100,000 subscribers, and he makes videos every day. And sometimes he just talks about things that he never sources, and he never gives any.
Just makes things up.
Yeah, it's just. And hey, man, like I said, I have no problem with Mike Zero. He's just he's got a channel. Mike Zero talks about Star Wars all day long. And what was the question about him specifically? What were they asking?
He did an about face apparently. He's basically echoing our channel views.
I mean, Mike has kind of been walking the line for months on this stuff. Campea is the one that did the complete like heel turn. He pulled the Shawn Michaels on Marty Jannetty.
Ooh, I like the analogy.
I mean, Campea just flipped the switch. So Mike has kind of been walking the fence for a while, trying to maybe test and see where this is going to fall. But Campea is the one that just did the heel turn, or the face, whatever you want to call it.
Here's the thing: he's always a heel, always going to be a heel. It's like he's just fake. I don't know how else to say it. The guy has such a stake in toeing the company line.
Oh, he's like Roman Reigns. Even if they turn Roman Reigns heel, he's always been heel. You know what I mean? So,
I got a funny Roman Reigns story to tell you off air.
You and me have to do some old school wrestling. We need to do that on one of our channels. Just talk about old school wrestling.
I used to have a channel called Ring Rust. I still do. It never took off. We did wrestling podcasts every week, and we got 50 views. So I just quit. I focused on this channel. So yeah, we'll talk wrestling. Believe me.
It's got to be old school wrestling, though, man. I love some old school wrestling drama.
Oh, dude, me too. I listen to Bruce Pritchard's show almost every day.
I watch old school shoot videos all the time. I can't get enough of it, man. I love hearing like from Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and all that stuff. So, all right, we're way off topic. But go ahead.
One thing though, I will say, when we go to Star Wars Celebration, you and I have to go off somewhere and drink and watch shoot interviews and laugh.
I'm down. Like I said, I don't.
I'm not invited.
Oh well, I didn't know you liked wrestling, man.
I like wrestling. I used to go to ECW in Philly. I mean, you know.
Okay. All the cred's back. Holy shit, that's cool.
Matt Nolan said Roman Reigns is a Gary Stu.
He is. He is. Guys, the other bullshitters are going to be there in person with me. You can meet the rest of the guys from the channel. We'll all hang out. Everyone that's listening, you're invited. We'll figure something out. But just be excited. Like, keep the hype going. Don't forget in 10 months from now. Like, oh, I forgot they're in Chicago. No, don't forget. Don't let Lucasfilm forget either. That's why you got to keep this attitude towards episode 9. Klausen LT says, by the way, I'm cashing in on my white male privilege and expect you to send me or read my chats from now on without super chats for me. Part Viking, don't screw with me. Viking! Michael Schofield, I think you belong in jail. I disagree, Jeremy. The Ben Mendelsohn water scene in Rogue One would have sucked because it would not include his bald brother, Scott Mendelsohn. Talk about face. That guy is so desperate. Oh, it's good that Solo failed. The Incredible Hulk's a failure. Look at where the MCU is now. Fuck off.
Oh, man, that guy.
You know what, though? I'm sure he watches my videos and he tried to correct me in one of his articles, so I called him out in our latest video. So I don't mean this in a bragging way, but more people have listened to us talk about him than have actually read his work. So, Scott, I'm sure the word will get back to you eventually. You suck, dude.
Hey, like I said in my video about him, like, I'm just recording my videos from my goddamn smartphone, and I got more people that can call themselves fans of me than people would call themselves fans of Scott Mendelsohn. Who the fuck is a Scott Mendelsohn fan? Nobody.
Not even Scott Mendelson's
right,
family.
Not even his. So the guy's just pathetic, so.
He just realizes, though, that he is irrelevant. I mean, Kevin Smith is a shill on a grand scale, but Kevin Smith has a built-in fan base. And Kevin Smith's a nice dude. I've met him. Very friendly. Disagree with him about a lot of stuff. And it was funny, when he had the heart attack, people on the Mundane Matt channel, including Mundane Matt, tried to assume that my video caused him to have a heart attack. And I said to somebody, they're like, what about the 25 years of eating poorly and smoking and drinking and all this shit? So I guess it's my fault because I made a mean video about Kevin Smith. Dragon Han says, fix what they did to Luke and all is forgiven. No. I don't know if all is forgiven. You can't take back all the shit Ryan Johnson said. Ministry of Wrongthink. Oprah would be great in bed. She's just so giving. Just imagine her giving... Just imagine her at gangbangs. You get a fap. You get a fap. Everyone gets a fap. Oh, God. Oh, sorry, not fat or flat. A fap. It's a fat flap. Ew. God,
Gross.
these people, man, these must be Ethan fans.
They're not my fans.
I'm blaming you with your moist fudge and all this other
no,
shit.
no, I don't. I tell them not to do that. I tell them not to say things like that. They don't listen.
I know. The people have their voices and they want to be heard. And if you want fat flaps and moist fudge, I guess
They've
we'll
never
just
said
give it to you.
anything like that on my channel. Yeah, never
Sure.
with the fat flaps. Never.
It's not like this isn't recorded, Ethan, and I can go back and verify it for myself. Yeah, we're getting a lot of love tonight. This is our best episode, straight up. I don't think we've ever had more content to rip into. Thank you. We're not done, by the way. I'm not closing it out. I just want to tell you thank you to Lucasfilm for shit in the bed constantly.
Yeah, I'm gonna make like 3 or 4 videos tomorrow. I'm just waiting, so I can't wait.
I think I'm gonna stay up all night and get my video out for tomorrow because I don't have much of a private life, but I do have birthdays and shit to celebrate this weekend. So,
and thank you, Ethan. Earlier, when you closed your live stream, you sent everybody over to me. You gained me like three or 400 viewers at the time, and then we were able to crash my stream because that's what happens. Such bullshit, man.
Friend of the show, Kenneth LaRock, says it was mentioned in the book that the X-wing was similar to the ship he flew on Tatooine. See, Kenneth, people like you know Star Wars. That lady who's 80% Star Wars doesn't know Star Wars, so I think she should change her ratio on Twitter. Makini90 says, last super chat for me, but what really bothered me was KK thinking that women can't identify with Luke because he's a male, so we need to kill him off to prop up our new female characters. That's a really good point.
Yeah, that and in that same interview, she talked about how they want Star Wars to look like the world that we live in, diversity and all that shit. And it's like, no, we don't want Star Wars to look like our world. We want Star Wars to feel like a galaxy far, far fucking away.
Well, the thing is,
called
Jeremy, you can play that against them. And if we went, let's say Star Wars is based off American society. If we go based on percentages, they're losing because was America 13% black, this percent this, and all that stuff. So if you just do a 1-to-1 ratio of like 12% this, that, and the other, their little thing is going to fall apart. It's just the diversity comes second to the good story.
Yes.
Dio Brando, put "Have Mercy on Your Goddamn Forehead" on a t-shirt. Michael Schofield, read my super chat, you white privileged males. Well, Michael, go back to jail. We already read it. Thank you again. Matt Tween says, great show, guys. Keep it up. Could Filoni take over KK's role and set things right, or is he even susceptible to Disney's SJW direction? And Matt Mataween also said, again, great show. Keep it up. Do you think Filoni is completely immune from Disney's SJW influence? And I'm going to say he is not, because remember, he works for them.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, you have to have ultimate clout to overrun that shit in Hollywood. And I don't really have a problem. Like, everything in Hollywood at this point almost has it. Even the MCU has little elements of it. But it's great because it doesn't overrun it. As long as it doesn't overrun it, and as long as it doesn't just take us off into fucking Canto Bite and all of that shit, then it's fine. Even Rebels has elements of it, and I enjoyed Rebels. I loved Rebels. So the problem isn't having the SJW elements. Let them sneak that stuff in. Just don't take away from the entire story to preach about your bullshit. That's all I ask.
I wouldn't even say sneak in SJW politics. I would just sneak in positive things for people in general. Like, it doesn't hurt to have a good message in a film that people leave inspired by. You know,
they don't believe in that.
I know they don't, but that's why I'm saying don't do their shit. When you left Superman as a kid, Ethan, I'm sure you were pumped, right?
Yeah, it changed my life. The original Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
And look where you are now. You've given up comics to talk about Star Wars on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
That was nice.
Let's see. KC Get Money 07. I love what you guys are doing. Also, shout out to my boy, Abu Nas. You should really check out his shill rap disses. Keep up the great content, guys.
I gave Abu Nas a shout out on my video today. So
who's that? I don't even know who that is.
Check him out. I'll send you a link to his channel. He's a good guy. He's okay. I think he said he's got a small channel, so trying to get him some attention. He gave me a shout out a couple days ago. He told me about it on Twitter, so I figured I'd give him one because he deserves it. Good guy.
Mm-hmm. Send me the link too. I want to check it out.
Will do.
Really Good. I think it's just the name Really Good. Sorry. If I was in a room with Bin Laden, Hitler, and Cecil and had it go with 2 bullets, I would shoot Cecil twice.
Now they're making you read those.
The Vile Delinquent says, unrelated topic. Have y'all seen Flight of Dragons? What happened to Western animation? It used to be so damn good. Also, EVS, please have Noah draw CF.
Oh, my brother Noah. Yeah. Okay.
What is Flight of Dragons? Do you guys know?
No.
Nope.
I apologize, The Vile Delinquent, that we don't know what it is. I'll look into it. I'll tell you about Western animation, though. Any of that Adventure Time stuff, and I'm not really shitting on Adventure Time, but the stuff that looks like that in the regular show, I don't... The artistry of animation's gone in terms of, like, Western TV. So, like, the Thundercats thing. I didn't grow up with Thundercats, but even I was, like, offended by that. I was like, what the hell is this? That is not animation.
It's awful.
Beskar Armor says, hey, geeks and gamers, dude. Anita and her ilk ruined Mass Effect. Fucking video games own Star Wars. No mercy.
I mean, and that's fine. I mean, I hate her. I can't stand her, but I just don't feel that she is relevant enough for me to talk about and focus my attention on. I just think she is, the more I would talk about her, I just think the more that gives her a platform, gives her the attention she wants. When I'm talking about people like Chuck Wendig or people like Ryan Johnson, they are directly hurting the thing I love. Anita Sarkeesian, did she ruin video games? I don't think she has that much power. I think you're giving her way too much credibility. But again, I don't know that much about her. I just feel she's an irrelevant human being. Whereas Ryan Johnson, he had the power. He did ruin Star Wars. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Just one thing, too. With Anita Sarkeesian in games, I can go back and play all these old games, and no matter what nonsense she tries to pump into modern stuff, it doesn't change the old games. In the terms of Star Wars, it does, because the characters that we love, we know where they go next, and it ruins it. It's, everyone just had this weak, pitiful ending. It's like real life. You don't really go out with a bang. Sometimes life's a whimper. And Star Wars isn't supposed to be like real life. It's supposed to be that escapist entertainment that, more than half the world has seen. Shane Rich, we need Bryan Singer to reset the timeline so we can get rid of Jake Skywalker and Leia Poppins. Ethan, you've worked on X-Men professionally. Do you like the X-Men films?
Yeah, no.
Not really?
Not really. I haven't seen Logan, though. The ones that I've seen have made me laugh.
Oh, man. You got to watch Logan.
Yeah. Everyone's saying that. I've just got no time. I'm only watching Star Wars stuff now. It's all work. Everything's work.
Same here, man.
Yeah, I don't have time for fun. But yeah. No, I watched the first X-Men movie in a black theater in Harlem, and everyone was laughing all through it, and that ruined it. Like, the audience was laughing, hooting and hollering. There's a great scene where, like, a van crashes and Wolverine comes out the window and slides along the ground in the snow. Mm-hmm. And the theater busted out laughing, and that made me laugh so hard that I can't. I don't know. I just can't. I can't watch X-Men.
I like the first one. Love the second one. There are some good ones in between.
I like Days of Future Past. I like the first one, second one, Days of Future Past, and Logan. And I like X-Men Origins Wolverine as much as everybody gives me shit over it. I know it's a terrible movie, but I like it.
At least you can admit that it's bad, and that is half the problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's an interesting one. Darth Conicus says, I worked at EA for 3 years on The Sims 3. It was exciting when we acquired the Star Wars IP, but the problem with EA is the good people in the trenches are always trumped by know-nothing higher-ups with agendas. That's what we think, though. Don't you guys figure that out? Like, there could be people that really love Star Wars that are working for Lucasfilm, but it's like the story group lady and all that shit, who somebody said was akin to Kevin Feige the other day in an article. They're ruining it for everybody else.
No, yeah, and I firmly believe that. I find it hard to believe that there aren't people at Lucasfilm that truly love Star Wars. And like I said, with the information that I've been getting, it seems that there is the same friction within the fan base that's going on as the same thing that's going on within Lucasfilm. But the problem is the narrative, it trumps everything else. And Kathleen Kennedy is in charge, and she's going to set the narrative, and she has the control. So until she is removed and until the money dries up, that's going to continue to be the situation. But luckily, the rebellion is starting to win.
Yeah, somebody said that to me the other day. Like, you guys are like the Rebel Alliance, and we saw what happened to the Death Star. I'm like, cool, yeah.
I said that on one of my videos. I said after Solo flopped, I said we just blew up the first Death Star, so we got to keep grinding. So trilogy. So
you talk about grinding. I know this sounds funny, but the one thing that kind of keeps me motivated is I'll watch the old Star Wars movie, the first one, like on a day where I'm like, Jesus, man, these videos, the situation is terrible. I watch it and I realize like this shit is worth saving, and then I get to work and everything's good. But that is my secret to keeping doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
Can Sanja says, did you guys check out the video I tweeted you where Kathleen Kennedy talks about her Title IX lottery win?
I have not seen that.
If you could retweet that to me, I will gladly watch that, because I had heard about that over a live stream, and I, like these guys say, we're always working on this shit, so I didn't have time to check it out. So please resend it. I do want to watch it. I'm very interested to see how that woman got where she is, because creativity wasn't it. Chet Thomas. Chet is not a name we hear normally. I always think of Weird Science. According to Insider, is that the Ankler Kathleen Kennedy will leave Lucasfilm in September. Mike Zero just posted a video with links to the article. We have Ethan Van Sciver here, and he posted it earlier. Ian Lucas watched Empire of Dreams the other day. Fantastic documentary. And Kasdan made an interesting comment. He said, no matter how many machines you have, if the will of the people is really strong, then they always will win. Have you guys seen Empire of Dreams?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Do you have the Star Wars DVD set at all? No.
Yes, I do, but I haven't seen it. I don't like watching a lot of I don't watch behind the scenes stuff. I don't like special feature stuff. I don't know why on anything. I just don't like a lot of that stuff.
Take my word for it, though. This is the best Star Wars documentary ever produced.
Like, everybody wanted me to watch the fucking one from The Last Jedi, which I never bought the Blu-ray. Everybody's like, you should watch that to cover it, like in a negative way. I'm like, I don't want to see any of that shit.
I did. It's terrible.
So,
thank you, Ethan.
Guys, I have a word. I have word about Kathleen Kennedy's successor coming in now.
Let's hear it.
This is her. This is speculation, but the likely candidate is Kiri Hart.
Oh God, no.
Current senior VP of development at Lucasfilm, called the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe. Hart's current job focuses on recruiting new writing and directing talent to join the Star Wars universe, overseeing script development on the new Star Wars material. This is awful. And heading the Star Wars story group, which is in charge of maintaining the interconnectivity of canon between all Star Wars media. Hart's main contribution to Star Wars has been managing the story fucking group, which consists of Simon Kinberg, Lawrence Kasdan, his idiot son, John Kasdan, Pablo Hidalgo, and Lucasfilm creative executives. Story connections between movies and TV shows like Rogue One and Star Wars Rebels are a result of Hart's story group.
This is worse than Kathleen Kennedy.
This is her choosing her successor, guys.
This is worse because she appointed Kiri Hart to lead the story group. That's her person that she brought on, and this would be a step back instead of a step forward for us.
As development VP, Hart was also instrumental in recruiting young auteur Gareth Edwards to join the Star Wars universe with Rogue One. Kennedy personally recruited directors such as Abrams, Johnson, Trevorrow, and Howard to oversee Star Wars films. With Hart, we might see a return to untested Helmers on Star Wars films, much in the vein of Marvel's Phase 3 with directors Taika Waititi, John Watts, Ryan Fleck, and Anna Boden.
Yeah, the biggest one was the Russo brothers, who have the track record.
Awful.
It got worse. Ethan, you killed the vibe of the podcast tonight.
I'm so sorry, but I get insider info and I have to pass it on. That's what the High Council does. I can't just hide this stuff.
It's a bitter pill to swallow.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. We're still at war. There's no peace is far, far, far on the horizon.
This is so pathetic.
We are at war.
I don't understand what's going through their heads. I really don't. This is a terrible, terrible decision. Man, you just killed the whole vibe of everything, Ethan. Man.
I'm just trying to pass on info. I mean, I would like this not to be true.
If anybody's curious about who Kiri Hart is, just Google her. I think the New York Times did the Women of Star Wars article a few years ago. And yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. Shuru says Disney Star Wars has been on the outs with me ever since they ejected the EU, and until it is reinstated, they will not get my money. I guess they're never going to get your money. Like, all joking
Nope.
aside, that is never going to happen. Just do what I do. Look at the old shit and ignore the new shit. And if you have kids, teach them the difference. Like, yo, this is what came before, and this is what they did. It's not hard to explain retcons and reboots and changes and all that. It's really basic if you take 2 minutes. Hugo Allen Stevens says, Rogue 2, a Star Wars story. Many Bothans will die before that movie is ever made.
Yeah, but we did beat the third Ehrenreich, and that was the whole thing. When Alden Ehrenreich came out and said, I've been hired for 3 Han Solo movies, a trilogy, I was like, oh, goddamn. We did it. We killed it. It's not happening.
I'm embarrassed that I own his action figure.
Me too.
Thanks. Carlton Bach. Sorry, Jeremy. We already read that one. Sorry. Robert Seiler. Fix episode 9 with Solo. Luke/Mara plus Lando has been captured 4 weeks in tanks with a Force World trance that is KKK Star Wars. That is fake controlled by Darth Plagueis, turning them dark side. KYP, Horn, plus others save them. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say about that one. Bomba Shoes. I love Zoa, so that's an awesome one. I have almost every Star Wars book. Audible, the Aftermath book was the first I ever requested a refund for and haven't bought anything since. Send that to Chuck Wendig.
Yeah, let him know about that one. That'll piss him off for sure.
Smug bastard.
Because nobody dislikes that book, apparently. He's
Mark's
still
me.
butthurt over it 4 years later.
Jeremy, this one's for you. This one's Mark's Maine. Dunkirk is a great movie, but it's far more escape/survival movie than a pure war film.
I mean, a lot of people criticize it for not having character development. A lot of people, say that, but it's very historically accurate. And I don't want to say too much about it because neither one of these guys have seen it. And the thing I want to say about it, it's not a huge spoiler, but I think it affects the story, the way you view it. But it is about the survival and war. Like the aspect of it that it's trying to tell you is about surviving that aspect of it. It is a war movie. It's not a war movie like Saving Private Ryan, but The Dark Knight is not a superhero movie like The Avengers, but they're still superhero movies. They're just different types of storytelling. So it's still a war movie. It's just a different type of war movie. And that's what I love about it. Nolan didn't go in there to show you blood and guts. He tried to tell you the story of survival and not focusing on individual characters, but focusing on the overall narrative of the war itself and the survival aspect of it. So it's not for everybody.
This one comes from Dan Fuentes, a.k.a. Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer. The timing of the Kelly Tran news regarding her leaving Twitter seems suspect, like it was meant to detract from the horrible performance of Solo. I agree with that kind of stuff. It's all planned. That kind of stuff works, or at least they think it works. We can't let them work. Make them let it work. Anyway, Michael Hand says, one thing I will defend about Episode 7, Rey was able to beat Kylo because Chewie shot him and he was weakened. Chewie never got the credit he deserved. Oh, this comment. God, I thought we forgot this back in 2015. That's not an excuse that I'll buy. I mean, this woman has never held a lightsaber. She's not qualified in that. She doesn't know the Force, but she knows the Force. That was one of the worst endings to a fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. I know you love it, Jeremy, and I'm not going to shit on you personally, but I had a lot of faith in them explaining this further into the future films, into the trilogy, and clearly they didn't have a fucking plan. We had a better plan for tonight's episode than they had in the goddamn sequel trilogy. No True.
Bullshit. You know what I mean? Now, I had faith in the
I'm
fact
a bear for detail.
And I had faith that they were going to have a plan to give us, like, you remember the moment when at Maz's castle, when Rey goes down there and grabs a lightsaber, and you hear Obi-Wan, you hear Yoda, and there's all these ties, and we're alluded to the fact that she has these ties to Luke and all of this stuff, and Rian Johnson just completely ignored it. You know what I mean? So I had faith from that aspect that, okay, we're going to get more information. Why is she so strong? Who is she? Why is Kylo Ren so curious about her? Is there going to be a flashback to tie them two together? None of it happened. And I knew it. I should have known it more. I mean, I did call it out, but the moment Rian Johnson moved Kylo Ren's scar and then lied about it on Twitter when he was confronted about it, you guys know about that?
Yep, I do remember that.
Like he literally moved Kylo Ren's scar, And when it was in the trailer, then a fan on Twitter confronted him about it. He lied and said, "It's not moved. What are you talking about?" And then they sent him pictures of Kylo from The Force Awakens and then from the Last Jedi trailer. And then he's like, "Oh, well, we thought it looked goofy, so we moved it." And I was just like, okay, that's a minor detail, but it's kind of a big deal. You know what I mean? And like, if you're willing to change that, what else are you willing to change? Well, everything. So again, me enjoying The Force Awakens was more or less about me having faith that, okay, we're going to get everything told as this trilogy progresses, and that clearly wasn't the case.
You know what they're going to do in Episode 9 is Maz Kanata's going to be like, "Oh, Luke Skywalker, your father," and the theater's going to go, "Huh?"
Yeah,
he was trying to protect you from the dark side. Blah blah blah. It's going to be retconned.
At this point, though, that they've lost me. I don't care what they do at this point. Like, I don't have faith in anything that they're doing. And even if they came out and did some shit like that, everything, the behavior of Rian Johnson, the behavior of Lucasfilm, the fact that they clearly never had a plan it's destroyed the element of surprise and the element of mystery for me. You know what I mean? So it's just disappointing, very disappointing. And that's why my Force Awakens DVD and Blu-ray is going to get jacked up by my golf club very soon on the Geeks and Gamers channel.
If only they could give you the money back that you paid, then the circle would be complete.
Fuck that. Don't even bring that up.
I know. Believe me, Ethan talked me into buying Star Wars.
Didn't it feel really bad? For me, it felt like buying a little gay porn. Like, it was just shameful and a little embarrassing.
Joking aside, when I picked it up in Best Buy, I looked around to see if people would like notice what I was buying because I was so embarrassed. I'm like, "Has anyone bought this?" He's like, "Yeah, a couple people." And I'm like, "Okay." And I walked out and I wouldn't make eye contact with people. They probably thought I was trying to steal something, but honestly, I was just like, "Oh shit."
Somebody sent me a page of Chuck Wendig's Star Wars book. I don't know if you guys want a reading. Is it going to slow things down? Do you want to hear a little of Chuck Wendig's
I got
prose?
the time. You can't get perfect storm like this on the High Council every week, so we have to read this.
Okay, I'm going to do a dramatic reading. Chat, please prepare yourself. Okay, this is a scene from Star Wars. And now, here comes the second TIE fighter. It starts firing at the rooftop, likely intent on bringing the whole building down. It's not a bomber, so it won't happen with one run. But those weapons at the front are no small pop guns either. A couple of passes, and the top half of the comm station will be turned into flaming chunks of rubble. He grabs both sides of Bones' head. "You got this," Bones says in a voice that warbles from deep to shrill, a mechanized distortion. "Consider it done, Master Terman." The TIE cannons begin shattering the other half of the roof. Debris sprays. Fire plumes. The sound of the fighter and its guns, and the explosions roars in Temmin's ears. Not just his ears. He can feel it in the back of his teeth and in his butthole. Singer winces, clearly feeling it too, popping up to fire off a few futile shots at the incoming fighter, and then turning to pop shots at the stormtroopers now coming up the escape shaft. Bone shrieks, "Roger, Roger!" Then the battle droid jumps in the air, tucking arms and legs together, forming a cannonball, and crashing through the TIE fighter's front windshield. The TIE wibbles and wobbles in the air. Holy shit. Careening drunkenly across the Mirren rooftops, it zigzags herkily-jerkily out of sight. Just as the first TIE, now looping back on the return trip, begins firing its cannons, the blasts pepper the top of the buildings, crossing the rooftop and coming right for them. Temmin turns and looks. There's no time to think, only time to act. And there's no other roof to which they can jump. Singer points. It's almost over, guys. A third TIE has joined the fray. Oh no. It swoops in, front blasters flashing, lasers unzipping the sky. Lasers that strike the first TIE in the side. Its hexagonal wing breaks off, hitting the side of the comm station, and the rest spins off to the side. That was gorgeous.
The best comment was someone said, "Can I get a refund for a book I didn't buy?"
Well, speaking of comments, one of our fans sent in actual Chuck Wendig dialogue from Aftermath. You little scrap muncher. I was putting away bounties while you were still in your space diapers.
Wow.
That came from SR2 Joker.
Thank you
You know
so
what
much for that.
Have you guys ever heard of Battlefield Earth, the movie?
Oh yeah, Travolta.
That sounds like that scene where he's like saying to that guy in the bar about that. Like, I think Chuck Wendig plagiarized from Battlefield Earth. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to go back and get that quote and I'll look into it. Because that's the worst place to rip off from. Hugo Allen Stevens says, The Last Jedi, but it's Dunkirk in space. Iman says, I used to watch Mundane Met back in the day when he had like 10,000 subs. He made better content back, and then his logo had an X-rated skull, and now he's Cal-arted his logo, which is super lame. You know, do you guys know who Mundane Matt is?
Yes.
Yeah, he went after me on Twitter yesterday or 2 days ago.
He tried to start shit in my comments section, and then he deleted it, but I got screenshots of it. So, because if he ever tries to say to me, yeah, here's the thing, I don't really like want to go to town on him or really say much about him because we looked into it because people were like, make a shill video about him. I had a guy, Kendo, on the show. He watched countless hours of Mundane Matt content, and I watched stuff too, and we came to the conclusion he's not a shill, so I really don't have much to say about him, but people always bring him up when in terms of like my channel and our channels now. I think he's one of those people that is he rides the fence too much, and people are starting to call him on it, and I don't think he can handle the heat. I think he uses his platform to stay relevant, and that's fine, but have conviction.
Well,
Yeah,
I think it's not just that. I mean, he recently, I have a thing. I don't want to sell out any YouTubers. If somebody actually makes a diss video about me ever, and they have, it's fine. You know what I mean? It's fine. I'm not going to flip out. And if they utilize some of my footage, apparently someone utilized some of his footage to make a diss video about him, and he slapped him with the DMCA, which I think is not nice.
Petty,
not nice. That's just not the way we treat each other. I mean, a lot of people make their living at this. That just seems like a really petty, thin-skinned, small-minded thing to do. You make a diss video back. You don't do that. You don't cut off their ability to live stream.
No, I mean, I've never said anything bad about him at all. And he tagged me on Twitter, so I'll give him credit for having the balls to tag me. And he was basically saying that I live in an echo chamber, I think is what he said. And I just retweeted it and I said, this is what happens when your subs are dropping and you're jealous of other people. And then I just said, man, I've never said anything bad about you. I wish you the best. Your audience clearly isn't happy with content, so maybe you should focus more on that instead of me. And I kind of left it at that.
I feel like that's a pretty safe, not safe, but that's a pretty good thing to say. That's not really being a dick or,
Yeah, well, I've had my drama on YouTube, and I'm kind of done with that when Star Wars Explained and me had our dust up. And so I've kind of, I don't want to get into all that because I have too much going on. We have too many things to focus on. And I don't really, I think it hurts the message to get into that stuff with those channels. I needed to set an example for channels to say, look, if you're going to come after me, and if you're going to misrepresent what I say, then I can hit back twice as hard. And I did that. And then I like I said, I got hit with that but age restriction on my video because I think I dropped like 57 F-bombs in there. And I got nervous because I didn't know what that meant because this is my first time ever getting age restriction. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Am I getting blacklisted on YouTube? And people are messaging me saying the video was, taken down. I was like, it's not taken down, but it's age restricted. So after he and I finally talked, I decided, let me just set that video to private. Other people have re-uploaded that video on their channels, and that's fine. I don't care if people see it. I just didn't know. I didn't know what that meant. You know what I mean? At the time, I got a little nervous with the age restriction. So, but yeah, I don't really have time to focus on other YouTubers as far as getting into the drama. We got bigger fish to fry, and that's taking down Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm.
That's our thing.
Yeah,
we just uplift other people by these smaller YouTubers. We can't do it.
And one final point, I hate to sound like cocky or this, but I just don't have the time to watch a lot of people's content. Like even some of the guys I really do like, I'm behind. It's it's the nature of the beast. And Matt is, his other movie channel, he talks about Star Wars now and he gets the views, and that's fine, but why attack us? If he was smart, he would be on here. But
don't hate, join us.
Yeah. We're not on the wrong side of history here. We're not a bunch of mean people. Zatachi's Cane Sword says, have any of y'all been to the Boucher or is it Boucher? I'll just say Boucher and Son Star Wars store in Aberdeen. Is that in Washington or is that in the UK?
I have never been.
There's never been I've been to the Star Wars store at Disney MGM in 1996. So that is the closest I've ever been to a Star Wars store. The High Recluser Arc, Grimaldis says, with the success in quotations of Solo, I feel like Riggs after pulling the house and slits down the hill in Lethal Weapon 2. Oh my god, that is awesome. I love Lethal Weapon. If you guys like Lethal Weapon, let me know. We'll do a watch party for it over the summer.
Of course.
Oppressatron. I'm new to the Lethal Weapon party. Like Dion on the show had talked about it for years, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it. I finally sat down to watch it last year. I watched all 4 in a single day. I fucking love Lethal Weapon.
Greatness, man.
Richard Donner.
Been a long time since I watched them.
I'll stand by it. I think Richard Donner is one of the strongest filmographies in history. Like that dude. We won't go into it now, but fucking love Richard Donner. Oppressatron. Globally crowdfund the purchase of the Star Wars IP from Disney and retcon everything Disney did right out of canon. If somebody could agree on who owns it, the world could pool what would it cost $8 billion. That could happen, but it's not.
Nope.
Star Wars Separatist says, shameless plug, I started this channel because of you guys and SC Reviews also. Keep up the inspiring content. By the way, that's Star Wars Separatist Republic. So if you guys want to check out that channel, and if you like what we do and you need more, there you go. GamerGirl5317 says, just in the last 5 minutes on my Monster Hunter Pets video, just had 3 comments and like 330 subs. I have bad internet stream, but I still get comments on what I have streamed in the past. Oh, I guess if I missed something, that's how I could go back. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I remember I've only done about 10 live streams. I'm still learning it. Shane Rich. The only plan that Lucasfilm has had for the trilogy was we got 3 OT stars left, 1 for each film to ruin their character before killing them off. You're not wrong. Colton Bach, have you guys seen Razor Fist's latest video? Hollywood slandering people for ideological reasons is nothing new. Have you guys?
No.
I have. It was 30 minutes. I watched it over breakfast. Razor Fist is one of my personal favorites. I've had the pleasure of having him on the channel multiple times now. He's a really cool dude on and off air. I've seen it. It's very political, but it's not like turn your channel off political. It's very well made. It's a history lesson. And I try to stay away from talking about history and learning and stuff like that on YouTube because people are like, ooh, that's schoolwork and I don't want to do it. But I suggest it's a really interesting video. If you want to learn something about Hollywood and the way we are now and why we're here, I'd check out that video. Nicholas Glenn told Jay today Campea blocked my super chats mentioning him and Geeks and Gamers. I asked him if he would have an open discussion with one of you on the state of Star Wars. Ooh.
Yeah, he asked me that on my super chat. I was like, I'll have a discussion with anybody. And apparently Campea blocked his super chat when he asked Campea that. So that's all you need to know. Why would he do
that? That's so little.
It speaks for itself.
Oh.
He's not a strong man. I would personally love to talk to John Campea on air in front of, I'd say if we can get 5,000 people on something like this, I bet we could get 20 or 30,000 if we properly advertised it. How would he get out of that? Like, what would he do? What could he do?
No telling.
Yeah.
I mean, I met John Campea at Star Wars Celebration last year. I shook his hand. I've never mixed words about this. I've said I used to be a big fan of John Campea, and then when me and him got into it on Twitter, where he called me a liar for calling him out on facts that he said on video, about his whole thing, where basically the thing you made about him, the show video, where he went on his little tirade and whining about I made a video about a movie I liked. came after
my joy.
You know, and
I love that video.
I'm like, bro, 3 days prior, you were calling Star Wars fans names that were boycotting Solo, and you said that they were insignificant and they did not matter. And then they came after you in a fucking tidal wave of anger and showed you that it's not just a small minority. And then when they did it, when they hit back, you played the victim. And I called him out on that on Twitter. And he goes, thanks for making stuff up about me. Bitch, there's video evidence of it. So anyway, I shook his hand at Star Wars Celebration. I told him, I was like, one day you and I are going to debate because you're going to know my name. And he kind of looked at me like, yeah, okay. You know, yeah, he knows my name now. So even though he claims he doesn't. So
I want to go to Star Wars Celebration like tomorrow. Can we just like jump ahead to the future? Because I'm dying to go to talk to these people. I want to see.
Yeah, I've had so many people reaching out to me about Celebration, dude. What we need to do, us three, okay, we need to set up a meetup at a restaurant. We need to rent that motherfucker out. We need to get like a fan campaign where we raise the money, rent a restaurant out, and have it be a high council meetup.
Let's ask the chat. Let's ask the chat. Which one of us three do you want to debate Campea? If only one of us did it.
Ooh, okay. I'm a little behind on the chats because I'm still reading these super chats from minutes ago. So you'll have to fill me in on why the right answer is me, because I don't want to punch him in the face, but verbally I want to punch him in the face.
Choose which one of us. Which one? Jeff, Ethan, or Jeremy? Which one of us is debating Campea one-on-one?
By the way, Jeremy, to further your point, if the fans would pick Giordano's Pizza, that would make me incredibly happy because I live close enough to Chicago that I could drive up for a day trip and eat their pizza, but far enough that it's like not going to happen.
All right, I'm down for some pizza. The chat is completely mixed.
It's mixed. It's one. You know.
Good God.
Let's see. Jay Cephas says, "Clean wife. One Obi-Wan movie trilogy with Ewan McGregor. Last one ending with scene or whole movie with 17-year-old Luke and young Leia, and one maybe. Then remake Episode 4 with Ewan and these actors plus Ingruber as Han, and 7 through 9, etc. Oh, please don't remake Star Wars." I might cry a real tear if they announce they're remaking Star Wars. I wouldn't see it on principle. That's the one I'll skip. I don't care how many of our fans go, you got to see it for the channel. No, you don't mess with perfection.
This is why the Solo failure was so monumental. We spoke. I guarantee you that's what they were aiming to do, is eventually remake Star Wars. We let them know point blank, don't fuck with it. Leave it alone. Quit rewriting history, motherfuckers. That's exactly what the Solo failure told them.
I got a quick question for you, Jeremy. Were you aware of the Sony Ghostbusters situation 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I know this seems kind of out there, but I wish we could get a similar situation. Remember how their emails were leaked?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not calling for it, but I would love if something happened where we got to see the inside workings of how Lucasfilm operated and their plans for the future and just how bad they were.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember that Sony email hack situation. That was a catastrophic failure for them. They were exposed. They got caught with their pants down. And yeah, I mean, it would be beautiful because I firmly believe that their intent is to rewrite history. That's what I've been saying for a while now, that they want to rewrite the Star Wars. They want to rewrite Star Wars history to fit their social narrative. And I felt like Solo was their first attempt at that. I feel like their arrogance led them to that decision. They thought that Star Wars was such a mega brand that no amount of political pandering and nonsense could hurt it. And they felt like that this is the one IP that could survive SJW nonsense. And it scared me. As much as I made predictions and said that I didn't think it was going to be successful, I mean, there was the thing in the back of my head to say, is Star Wars strong enough to survive this bullshit? You know what I mean? Is Star Wars the one thing? And we got a loud, overwhelming no. So,
well, the one thing that those people don't take into account, too, is they've damaged the brand in the future for the next generation. I mean, I know you guys were around for the original trilogy, at least like Return of the Jedi, as being fans, because you talked about that swing set. Mm-hmm. But for me, like, I got into Star Wars with the toys and the movies, and I just had this whole experience where Star Wars permeated every part of my life. Nowadays, it's hard for kids to get that out of Star Wars because, one, the merchandise is so sparse and poorly distributed and poorly made, and have other opportunities like Marvel. So if these movies don't appeal to their parents, or the parents aren't showing them to the kids, the next generation of Star Wars fans don't exist. So Disney has really fucked up there. Or Lucasfilm, excuse me, Scott Mendelson. Lucasfilm has really fucked up there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too far off this. I know you got a lot of super chats to catch up on, but it's just I can't imagine, again, as someone that I'm an annual pass holder at Walt Disney World. I love Walt Disney World. I've been so excited for Star Wars Land. These motherfuckers have to get their shit together for 2019. They have billions on the line, and Star Wars is almost dead right now.
That's it. If episode 9 bombs out, that's it.
It's going to be, they have they have the Star Wars Celebration. They're going to have to hire the goddamn Marines to come run security at this place. It's going to be so hostile at 2019 Celebration. You've got Star Wars Land opening at Disneyland at Disney World, and you've got episode 9, and it's all tied to episode 9, and nobody's going to care. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just can't imagine a smart company like Disney isn't behind the scenes being fully aware of what's going on, even though publicly they're going to act like nothing's wrong.
Let's see. 100%. Ty Gordon says, isn't it possible that The Last Jedi achieved exactly what it set out to do? It is divisive, poison, and highly political, and Disney can afford it. Can they?
I mean, Disney can't afford everything. I mean, they have stockholders, they have investors, they have people to answer to.
Also, look back at the 1980s. Disney had failures and was a very weak studio in the 80s. And like I've said before on this channel and other videos, I think a weak Disney produced the best decade of entertainment ever. When Disney has power and everything's homogenized, safe, and for families, you don't get the creative balance of kids movies, action movies, this and that. Like I was watching Predator. They don't make balls to the wall action flicks. They make really safe, non-offensive action movies, with the exception of John Wick, which are successful. But you don't get stuff on the big scale anymore. Same with kids movies. Kids movies are so safe and boring. A 1980s kids movie would essentially have been what it is today, but it would have been rated PG, and everybody would have been fine with it. Look at the Monster Squad, the Goonies. There are moments in there that modern sensibilities don't allow, and it just hurts because those things have the reach and the staying power, and this modern stuff is just fluff that nobody wants.
It's Star Wars has turned into Transformers. That's what it's turned into.
And they just rebooted that, right?
Yeah. Well, hang on. What do you mean with Transformers?
Yeah, with the Bumblebee and something else.
I don't know if is that a reboot? I haven't watched that trailer yet. Is that a reboot or is that a continuation of the story?
He's a new car. I don't like Transformers that much. I was born in '88, so Transformers had died by the time I was a little kid. There was Generation 2, but I didn't really watch it that much.
Yeah, I liked Transformers growing up. The movies, I liked the first movie, and after that, they were all awful. So
I did like the first Transformers movie. The second and third were unwatchable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a prequel. They're saying it's a prequel in the chat.
Oh, so. Okay. Timothy Riggs says, is it true about her successor? I remember not official until September. It's a big FU to fans and the new Death Star.
I would say, if you look at things, Kathleen Kennedy was out front for the Force Awakens marketing. She was out front for the Rogue One marketing. She was out front for the Last Jedi marketing, and she has disappeared from the public eye since then. They are definitely working on her exit, and she may have already been gone. She may have already been informed. This is someone, Kathleen Kennedy, who has a lot of friends in Hollywood, a lot of good relationships. She probably has been informed of what's going on, but they will make this as PR friendly as they humanly possibly can, because you can't fire a whammon. You can't do it.
You can't.
So you gotta do it the right way. So I feel like she's already powerless at this point.
Mm-hmm. Mega Lone Wolf 20 says, to buy matches so you can burn your Alden Ehrenreich solo action figure. Oh, damn it. I guess I gotta. I don't know. Should Lando go too? They're only $5, guys. Please don't judge me. Let's see. Casey Get Money 07. When you guys get a chance, check out the Thor Skywalker remake of The Last Jedi. It's a 5-part series, and it's great. By the way, folks, if there's a specific video you want me to check out, just email us, worldclassbs@mail.com. That is the best way to contact me, because if you send it on Facebook, it gets lost in the feed, and I don't want people to think, oh, they got all these numbers and they don't care about us. All of us, I can speak for all three of us, we all care about you guys, but it is hard to keep up with a lot of this stuff, and we want to give you guys the personal touch.
It's crazy, man. I try. I told people in my live chat earlier, send me shit 5 times. Like, I want to see everything you're sending me, but yeah, it's just impossible to see it the first time around sometimes. So,
well, you guys have families too. I don't, and I still am swamped with this stuff. I mean, Ethan, you got Cyberfrog and all this other stuff going on in your life too.
Very busy, but you know what? The fans are most important.
They are really cool. Like, it's bizarre that, you go online and thousands of people want to listen to us talk. I love it. Like, thank you.
It's great. It's great.
Hugo Allen Stevens says, "What about Lucasfilm attack on the droids? What about the Lucasfilm attack on the droids?" I'm
Lucasfilm attack on the fans. Lucasfilm attack on the fans. So,
yeah, I'm really cool with like the droids being shit on in Star Wars post Episode 3's Clone Wars. Like, why wouldn't the galaxy hate an evil army of robots? I mean, they look at all the lives they took during the Clone Wars. That makes sense to me. This rebellion shit for the droid rights is dumb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Darth Hater. Here we go. That's a great name. At least they'll have Cyberfrog to entertain us now. World-class bullshitters, please let Uncle Ethan run over your third Ehrenreich figure.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll do mine. I'll do mine tomorrow. We'll back over it with my car.
Here we go from Hugo Allen Stevens again. You have choked on your aspirations, Director Johnson. It's the X-Cave Teeth. Lucasfilm reminds me of the board of OCP and RoboCop 2, adding all these progressive protocols to RoboCop's programming. No one took him serious anymore, and he's become a joke, just like Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars. That is a fucking awesome super chat right there. That one. As a kid, I didn't like RoboCop because it was too violent, but as an adult, I get what they were doing with it, and it's really on point to where we are right now in society. See, now that's how you do politics in movies and not piss off anybody. Yep. Make them think. Starship Troopers did the same thing. Not the Mist. No, They Live. All that stuff, man. You had these really smart people doing this. We have a bunch of idiots in control now.
By the way, your Starship Troopers reference earlier, I meant to give you credit for that. You made one way early in the show.
Do you want to know more?
Yes. So I was like,
well, Dion would be really upset if I didn't talk about Starship Troopers. That dude lives for that movie. I got to see it in theaters. I was lucky as a kid. Rethgar Targaryen says, or Rhaegar Targaryen, we need a movie of Shadows of the Empire. I agree 100%. Darth Plagueis or Snoke. A Sith featured movie in the past. Rey needs to go dark side. Also, Fire and Blood.
Can't have the women go dark side.
Why not?
That hurts the political narrative.
You think so?
In their eyes, yeah. I mean, look at the First Order. All white males.
Yeah. Well,
I'm saying I would love to see Rey go dark side. I really would. I would love to see it. I'm just saying that's not gonna
right now. She's going to, she's going to become. She's going to the dark side. Believe me, it's going to happen.
Paul Dozier says the Shmoo is happy to see Richard C. Meyer. I don't. I mean, I know who that is, but I don't know who the Shmoo is. Counter-Strike, spelled with a K. No wonder Rey sucks. Heroes are defined by their villains, so I guess this is kind of the hero we get when the villain is a whiny boy that loses his temper and throws a tantrum every other scene. That's a good observation, Counter-Strike. I agree 100% with you. Conservatarian right. KK selecting Kiri as like corny pushing Mueller for a special prosecutor on his way out. She's trying to burn it all down behind her and keep influence. Comey. I'm not really big into politics, so... Dio Brando says the official nickname Kathleen's replacement is Harakiri because at this point it's clear that they want to commit suicide with the franchise. Ooh, I like that one too.
That'll be her name.
Sabat Hada. Spoiler alert, Kylo and Rey are brother and sister. Mark my words. You will see it, maybe. Love your guys' shows. Thank you, Sabat.
Thanks.
6 turning 4 burning. Hey, welcome back. I will riot and fling the earth into the sun if they remake the original trilogy. You're not alone, dude. I will help you.
Hey, I'm gonna
happen. They're
Jeff,
gonna do it.
I've got to bounce for just a second. I'm gonna re-sign in on my phone because I gotta
Deal.
walk away from my computer. I'll be right back.
Deshandra Morant says, remember when Disney wanted to make Tron its own Star Wars? In another world, George Lucas kept the Star Wars franchise alive through video games and TV shows. I wish I was in that world. Yeah, but in that world, you have like 4 arms or something. You're like Goro. United Soviet 2. Do you guys remember when Trump promoted Star Wars Episode 3 as he played as the Emperor Palpatine And now his president, if he wins in 2020, SJW will destroy Star Wars for good. They don't care. Make the galaxy great again.
Wow, that's heavy.
I don't remember that. I was a big Star Wars fan back then. I just must have missed it.
You missed Trump as what was he, Emperor Palpatine?
Yeah.
Wow. I would like to see that.
Commander 232 Soldier says, hey, I love to listen to you guys while I play Elite Dangerous.
F&A.
And guess what, Ethan? We finally reached the end of the Super Chats.
We did it. We did it. We get all the Super Chats done. We took care of everyone in the chat. We made sure everyone was happy and all of their thoughts and voices.
Oh, wait. We got one more from Jesus A. Sabalos Jr. Hey, Ethan, did you get your Tico Pops yet?
I haven't had time to get my Tico Pops, but I definitely will, and I will see if they pop. I mean, that is the whole thing. We want to find ways to make Pops pop. They are pop part of the problem. That's what Pop stands for. And, yeah, I hate them. Can't stand them. People are saying speak up. All right, look, I'll plug. Hold on a second. I unplugged my headset so that I could eat cashews.
Ooh, cashews are a good choice.
Oh my god. Well, listen, you guys have to. We've been live streaming for 3 hours now. You have to munch something.
This is the longest stream we've done as the High Council. I won't say that the length is what made it the best, but it was definitely the girth. All joking aside, though, this was, I think, our best episode. Seriously, we had so much to work from tonight, and we got to thank everybody that was involved. Do you want to close it out, or do you want to wait for Jeremy?
Let's wait for Jeremy, and let's just talk to the chat a little bit and see how they're doing. Can you hear me now? Hey, Jeremy.
I'm back.
Good to have you back.
Yep.
Too many people here are bitching about EVS chewing and drinking. That is so true. Why am I so persecuted? I don't understand it. Some people are saying that I am talking from the Sarlacc pit. That is untrue, although I am very much like Boba Fett. And I am like Boba Fett. Aren't I?
You are like Boba Fett. You're a national treasure, and national treasures get to smack a little bit during video conference calls. It's okay.
Hey, Mighty Nick, resend your message. You don't have to send it as a super chat. I don't want to leave you hanging.
I do have to. I've only got about 10 or 15 more minutes. I've got a couple things I've got to deal with. So
we're gonna close it out at midnight, right on the dot. We got 9 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Let me pull this chat back up.
Now that I said his name right, I'm afraid to say it again because I don't know if I got it right. Jesus A. Sabalos Jr. Holy crap, Jeff is the first person to say my last name right. LOL. Ceballos? Yeah, Ceballos, because the LL is the A letter. Yeah,
I butcher so many names on my super chat. It's so bad.
Eric, somebody asked, was it Elric Hyuga, are we still going to boycott episode 9?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I always say it's up to you guys. I don't tell you what to do like that. Personally, I got to see it for the channel, but if we want to make the point known that we're pissed off with Disney Star Wars, you got to do that.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me answer this one.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I was saying, this is from a fan, Michael Simbadi. Jeff, any updates on the Joker Blog Series 2 review? Please, with all the BS Jared Leto Joker, I need something good today. Michael, let's see. I will give you a quick insight to the channel. I got a video to work on all night tonight into tomorrow, and tomorrow's Wednesday. We're going to do a live thing on Wednesday, and then Thursday's the show. I will try to get something together this weekend. As I said earlier, I have a birthday party and stuff to attend to. Somebody close to me is turning 60, so I got to take care of all kinds of behind-the-scenes stuff, so it's going to be hard to access me. But Michael, as always, as a patron, I make the videos for you guys. I haven't missed out on one yet, so I'll get that for you. I can make it quicker if I just put it on Patreon as audio. Trying to put video to it's going to slow it down. So if you want that, email us. You know how to contact us, and I will take care of you. Anyway, sorry, Jeremy.
No, I was just actually wanted to thank everybody. We've had an awesome night tonight. We've had a fucking shit ton of viewers. And it's just been awesome, and I appreciate all of you. All the stuff that about me talking shit about Dunkirk and you guys giving me shit back. I love it. So I just want to thank everybody.
Hey, did you guys enjoy tonight's stream and the content? If you did, hit yes. Let's just get a scroll of yes. If you hated it, go ahead and put no. But I want to see what you guys think. Is this the kind of content that you want from the High Council, or do you want more drunken goofballery?
I will just go out and say I think we found the perfect chemistry for the High Council. Jeremy, you're what we were waiting on. I mean, I like Nurkish. Cecil's fine. I had a really good time with Boofire and the guy that does the Magic the Gathering cards. But I feel like tonight and the week you were on 2 weeks ago, we have the perfect chemistry, and I think we should keep this one rolling. Like, I don't want to change it.
The Holy Trinity.
And you guys, as long as you guys are willing to have me, I'm here, and I'm gonna, I think it's always good to have someone that we have disagreements enough to where it makes things interesting, to it can create dialogue and discussion, so we're not all on the same page completely, but the overall point that we see and the mission at hand, we're all on the same page. So I think it's great. So
somebody said bring Mauler. I got some more super chats that popped up. Sorry, but Juicebox, Mauler is a 5-hour time difference, and this is a Tuesday night, and I'm sure he has a job. So that's why Mauler chats are usually on the weekends or at weird times, like at 5 p.m., East Coast time. So Mauler is always invited. I just want to let you guys know why. We're not trying to ignore you, but Mauler is 5 hours away, so that is kind of a hard sell.
But a fourth might be a possibility every week or so. But we just want to make sure that we get. I think tonight was good to kind of recalibrate and get our dynamic together and just make sure the fans are happy. I got a ton of complaints last week about how chaotic the show was, and it turns out that people really just want to hear us talk about Star Wars, which is cool because that's what we want to do too. So if we get a fourth in here, it's going to be someone who is funny and serious at the same time about Star Wars. And we will stick to content, and we will stick to actual, material, genuine stuff, not silliness.
Let's see. Deshandre Morant says, "You say it like it's a bad thing. I apologize for not knowing the context, but thank you, Deshandre Morant." Daniel Payne says, "Did you see the video showing that we actually saw Boba Fett's face in Episode 5? Are you referring to Jeremy Bulloch, the actor who plays Boba Fett, who's one of the guards carrying Han Solo and Carbonite away? If that's the case, let me know, because I've known that for a while. Did I meet Jeremy Bulloch? No, I did not meet Jeremy Bulloch. Ivan Nieves says, "Crazy KK is thinking faster than the Roger Young and Starship Troopers. Wait, wasn't she the captain in that movie too? Interesting. Love you guys. We love you too, Ivan. I hope your job is doing well."
Mm-hmm.
And Bro Cody, Solo bombed EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 is super controversial, and the toys aren't selling. Star Wars is bleeding money, and Disney knows it. Ooh, what a good super chat to go out on.
Yep. I see everybody asking for Alex Becker. I mean, Alex Becker commented on one of my videos and gave me a $50 super chat a few days ago. So he's been commenting a lot on my videos. So I don't know. I could talk to the guys, see if I don't have direct contact with him. But that's definitely something we can consider. I'd love to have Alex Becker on here. So
that'd be cool.
Are you guys familiar with him?
Yes, but I've never. Yeah. He pops up as a recommended person on all the videos I watch.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like Jesse in here.
Jesse Milestone?
Yep.
I can make that happen.
She is my favorite. Aside from you guys, if I had to pick a third favorite, it would be Jesse.
I watch
her videos.
Jesse is a badass. So I can definitely get Jesse in on here. So I'll call her tomorrow and I'll talk to her about it.
I was shooting for The Rock, but I don't think that's going to happen. So. Then again, I don't think he likes Star Wars.
So I just want to tell everybody at the end, I want to promo my my Cyberfrog Blood Honey comic book on Indiegogo. Please go look up Cyberfrog on Indiegogo, and if you want, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I think there's a kind of trailer video that you can look at, and if you'd like to back my Indiegogo campaign for a Cyberfrog comic book, that would be really, really cool of you. I would appreciate it very, very much. I'd like to see it get up to 150,000. That would be pretty substantial. So if you wouldn't mind, have a look. And thank you so much for always being here and having our back on the High Council and in all our separate chats. We do love you, and we really appreciate you.
Yeah, this isn't like a bragging way, but we gained like 17,000 subscribers last month. So thanks to everyone that's new. Ethan knows this. He started out with a lower sub count than me, but like we started the year, we just hit 10,000 in December, and now we're 5 times bigger than that. There's a lot of passionate people that contact us every day, especially over on the Facebook page. I'm in constant contact with a lot of people, and it's awesome. I wouldn't change it for the world. So thanks to the 51, almost 52,000 of you who found world-class bullshitters and,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had 800 subscribers in January on the Geeks and Gamers channel.
Goddamn.
And now we're at 55,000. So I'm blown away by it, and I'm thankful for it. And like I told everybody on my live stream, we work for you. So you guys just keep fueling the fire, and we're going to bring the content. We're going to bring the pain. We're going to keep motherfuckers honest.
That's correct.
And it's
we
awesome.
will stand up to these people. By the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but you guys send me a message saying so and so Lucasfilm is getting out of line. I will go either approach them on Twitter and say something, or I'll make a video. And the other thing is, you may also notice we do ask, we check with you and make sure that we're producing content that amuses you, entertains you, makes you want to come back for more. We do work for you. Thank you so much for the super chats tonight and for all your attention. And we will see you again next Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Yes, and we have 3 more popped in. Sorry, Ethan, to kill the flow.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, we're good.
Pitspit says, we submit. Ethan, you sound like John Malkovich.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Mac Deckard says, I know Jessie. She's good. Is that the blonde woman that talks about Star Wars?
She's got short hair and she's like yelling in all her videos.
She's a firecracker. Yeah, she's on my channel.
Let's see. Daniel Payne. Yes, and I didn't know that. After watching Return of the Jedi the other day for the first time, I noticed that Luke's mechanical hand switches in one scene. Real quick, Daniel Payne, did you notice that Han Solo's blaster switches in A New Hope when he gets off the transport on Yavin 4 because they flipped the film? Griffin says, why not a rotating 4th council a week? We'll talk off there, guys. Definitely are adapting the format. Look at the first High Council to what is this, the 9th or 10th one now? Completely better. And finally, Hugo Allen Stevens says, Alex Becker was the man who pointed the way to Jeremy, Jesse, and you guys. I feel I have found the most welcoming community. Thank you. No, thank you, Hugo. We appreciate all that you've done for us tonight and watching all the videos. Finally, Russell Brown. Ryan Johnson still thinks he's getting a trilogy. All right, folks. Well, you know what? I will close it out this week. Make sure you subscribe to Comic Artist Pro Secrets, a.k.a. Ethan Van Sciver. You can find his content. It's awesome. It's funny. If you love Rose Tico, if you're a Tico Path, get on over there and join that community. Geeks and Gamers is Jeremy. Great content, great community. Make sure you join that. Get involved with the channel. It's a lot of fun. And if you're already listening to this, I hope you're subscribed to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. We'll be back. I guess I'll stay up tonight and work on the video so I can get it out for you guys tomorrow. But we'll be back on Thursday night with our episode 126 of World Class Bullshitters. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone. You guys make it worth it. And we will always be back to give you more.